The two survivors loot the necromancer with the archmage, who agrees to identify their loot. Also, to petition the king to give ownership of Meadstead to Ebner, and allowing the good people of Latrine to immigrate there, though it will take a few days. So having some downtime, they try to sell some of the treasure they found in a busy square, and Ebner uses the magical stones of light and darkness he made to enhance their selling potential. Unfortunately, the populace frowns on the mischievous use of magic. He gets an earful, and they head to a merchant instead. Meanwhile, Chives tries to get a gig at a high-class tavern, but gets snubbed, so in revenge, he breaks in and steals the cutlery, trapping the door with dinnerware before he leaves. Finally, it is time for Ebner and Jebediah to collect their loot from the Archmage. She informs them that the spear, while a powerful weapon, is also a sacred hobgoblin relic and may draw their attention and ire. They are also granted permission to bring the people of Latrine to settle in Meadstead, as long as an oath of loyalty is sworn to the King of HighCastle. The party assemble and head to Meadstead to clear out the dead and make it safe for settlement. During their search for salvage, they find a prison in a desecrated temple, holding the emaciated surviving populace of Meadstead, as well as the lair of the necromancer. Will the resettlement go smoothly? Will it evoke the dragon's wrath? Will Ebner become a landowner? Let's find out now on Desperate Measures.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Desperate Measures. How are you guys doing today?
Fantastic.
Amazing.
We get to
Moon,
play D&D. It's a good day.
Yep.
Are you fully moved into your new place, Mouton?
No.
No, you're still going back and forth between the two.
I have the apartment
apartments?
till the 23rd, so like I paid a month's rent for that. I'm gonna
You're gonna
I'm
get
gonna
a
use
month
it.
out
Yeah,
of
I'm gonna
it.
get a month out of it.
Nice,
Fair
nice.
enough.
Is your streaming set up in the old place or the new place?
No, I'm my whole streaming stuff is in the new place, so it's kind of like walking to work every morning. I have to walk like I don't know 5 minutes across the apartment building.
That's kind of good, you know? That
It's
way you
nice.
don't get too roped into your, like, wake up, go to hang out in the bedroom and play games, and then go to
Yeah.
sleep in the bedroom. You know, you get out of the house maybe a little bit. You have to put on pants to go from one apartment to the other.
I always
But,
put on pants and stuff when I'm streaming. I always I don't know
Yeah.
why. Maybe not pants, but shorts at least.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
afraid
yeah,
if
of
I
course.
get up, I'll just get banned.
Yeah. Well, you should always wear some amount of clothing while streaming. Those
should.
mistakes do happen.
Just in
And,
case, yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, it's the difference between hanging around in your sweatpants and sweat shorts.
And looking nice.
sweatshirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, having to see other people in the hallway who know you.
Yep.
Oh.
Right.
What about you, Connor? How's life been?
Well, it up and down. You know how it goes.
Mhm.
We're like in this slight lull period at work between real big events. Thankfully, the next real big event, just like the last one, I'm not going to be super heavily involved in, especially since it lasts like a long ass time. And
But you
Yeah.
recently completed some classes, certifications, testing.
yeah,
How's that all working out?
I got a new qualification. Basically, that sets me up for if I decide to stay in. But
Mhm.
other than that, I'm not doing too much with it right now. Just working on boat stuff.
No? Nice.
Yeah.
What about you, Will? Is the rodeo in town again?
No, they just left, actually. They're gone. We won't see them till next year. It's a sad time.
A whole year? They
Yeah,
just
a
come
whole
by
year.
once? Oh my god.
Yeah, we do it once a year. It's a pretty big deal. Comes through town. Whole bunch of people. Actually, it really is. An entire section of town basically shuts down because of it. It's pretty crazy.
Sounds pretty sweet. I've never been to a rodeo. They didn't really have them in my town when I was a kid.
You should come
I
through
don't-
then. It's a good
I
time.
would love to. Rodeos have a deep history, which I think is fascinating, and I think they are much more interesting sporting events. You know, it's not like you're
They
watching NASCAR where it's like 500 rounds of people doing the same fucking lap,
Hmm.
or football where they'll like, which is a great sport, but they'll like play for a moment and then it's like 5 minutes of break while they reset up the ball, or basketball, which just drags on forever with no real purpose. I don't know. Rodeos seem like they would be really fascinating.
Soccer drags on.
They
forever
are.
with no real
There's some. They
purpose.
have
Soccer,
a couple.
yeah.
There's a little bit of time, but sometimes they're setting up for new things, but that's fine because you got to go to the
Mhm.
bathroom. You've got to get stuff sometimes, but it's reasonable. It's
Mhm.
reasonable.
What is
And
your
the things you
favorite?
think you could maybe do, even though there's no way it could actually happen. Like riding a bull, you're like, I could for sure do that, but there's no way.
Ooh.
You would die.
Those things are huge. That would be the most terrifying thing in the world, I think.
It is. It looks absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, it's like the Western version of hockey, basically. I mean, I know they're very different. One is like a team sport where you score, but they're both like really dangerous and fast-paced and super exciting. So I'd be down to
But
see
you have a
either
lot of
hockey
reason to
or
hold
rodeo.
on because if you're on the back of him, he can't hit you. That's also my other thing I'm thinking. You've got
Right,
a
because he
good
can't
reason to
kick
not let
you
go.
if you're on him,
Right.
right? But the moment you
for
go
your-
off,
more for your,
ooh.
yeah, terrifying. Hopefully 8 seconds later.
Imagine being a
That's all.
rodeo clown. The
Yeah,
ones that
Neil,
have
you
to
said the
distract her.
Western version of hockey.
yeah.
Hockey is a Western sport.
I meant like not East West, like Old World, New World. I meant like West, as in like the spirit of Western
Got it.
America, like
Got it.
Southwest. Yeah.
I understand.
But I see what you could mean. Hockey's the northern sport. I don't know.
Damn Yankees.
Brewskis play it too.
It wasn't the Yankees that invented it. It's the Canucks.
The Canucks get hockey before the Brewskis?
Nova Scotia.
Ooh.
All right.
Yes, I
And what about-
literally just looked that up. I don't know shit about hockey other than what I've looked up in the last 5 minutes.
And Tom, have you given up on Long War forever? Is it over? Is it the dream dead?
Well, Long War probably. XCOM definitely not. But I don't know if I'll ever come back to Long War. It's just the only thing bad about Long War is that it's long, and I
That's such a
if
true
it was-
statement, though.
If it was just called War, it would probably be good.
If it was
No,
half
it's
the
just-
length, it would be really nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just I want to keep playing Iron Man, but it's just too much time investment for the time that I have available. Like if I was a full-time streamer, I could probably, and if I didn't play Iron Man, then I feel like I could do it. But just playing Iron Man and not having the time investment, I mean, it took me like 3 or 4 months to get through my playthrough, and I had to compromise and say, okay, well, past this point, it's not going to be strictly Iron Man. I'm going to reload from a checkpoint save because I just can't put 40 hours into a single campaign, then have a squad wipe and go, well, it's over. I guess I got to throw 40 hours out the door. But anyways,
Exactly.
yeah,
It's a nightmare. I have
Yeah.
never actually finished it. Did
Mhm.
you actually finish the Long War?
Yeah, I
Holy
finished
shit,
it.
dude.
It wasn't long. It wasn't Iron Man all the way through, but I did pseudo Iron Man. So like, if somebody died, I wasn't gonna reload I never reload the mission and run it again or anything like that
Mhm.
until no one dies. But if I suffered a big enough setback, then I would have a backup save that I would move out of the folder and I would put it in, and it's still considered Iron Man, but it's not really Iron Man anyway. But
Oh my god.
yeah, we got to the end of it, and I got to the end of it back in December, and so I've been taking a break, and I've been playing BattleTech, so I want to get to the end of the BattleTech campaign before I go back to XCOM. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, we were talking about BattleTech during the pre-show.
Yeah. I've just been becoming it's amazing how much there's such rich lore behind BattleTech, and this also for people who don't know BattleTech, you probably would recognize it from MechWarrior. The MechWarrior games back in the day, BattleTech that's the same universe. It's just the whole BattleTech universe, and I never played those games when I was younger, but there's such rich lore behind it, and I'm becoming a nerd now of BattleTech. So I'm glad I started playing that. But yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Good.
Boy Boo.
Yeah.
Last session, we did some investigation, I would say, and we found people alive in that guy's dungeon, the Necromancer. I would say this is worth some experience. Seeing
Did
all
you
the
guys get
dead
XP
bodies.
last week?
We did
No.
not.
No one
I
got
would
XP
know.
last week?
No,
You said
because
no.
you said not yet.
no, we
We'll do
didn't.
it next week. Because
Okay.
I'm 1 XP off. I would know.
You're 1 XP off.
Both us are.
True.
Oh, wow. That's really juicy.
That's why we're here.
Well,
You really
I made
want
a
that 1
comment.
XP right now, don't you?
Yes.
I
Before we
want
start today's
something.
session.
Yeah.
You You want something, huh?
Want
Yeah.
something.
What if
Want
I...
a little something.
What can I give you instead of experience that you might want?
Magic items.
No, I would rather the experience. I think at this point.
Yes.
Just wants the HP, man.
All
I
right.
just want the
Desperately
HP.
needs that.
I'm sorry, you don't have 10 HP. You've got 29. You have the second highest HP in the party.
I never said I had
Whoa,
10
whoa,
HP.
because I'm failing doesn't mean he doesn't need more. Okay, that's not how this
Okay.
works.
All right. So last week's adventures brought you from Meadstead to HighCastle, back to Meadstead. You talked with people. There was some low-risk combat going on.
Yeah. We just hand waved the combat.
The combat was
Yeah.
whatever. We hand waved
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
We convinced the king to let our people move.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was an
Okay.
important thing. And you gotta.
Yeah, I was gonna try and
act on
give you that quest XP once you actually brought the people there, rather than giving it out piecemeal, like 250 for this part of the quest, 250 for that part of the quest. You know,
I'll
I was
take
gonna just
250
do
for
it
that part.
one lump sum at the very end was the goal.
Sure.
So can you sell me on XP for something else that you've done?
Finding the people, and
Finding the people, finding the necromancer lair.
having the experience of like seeing the necromancer lair and like reading through the books a little bit, killing the heads and stuff. I would say like that was a big experience.
That was
for
a
the
moment
cast.
of great experience for you.
Unironically,
Yes, it
yeah.
seems to have shaped your concepts on what is right and wrong in the world as well. A little
It
bit.
does.
That's definitely some experiencing moment here. Why don't you each take home 250 points of experience for your necromantic
Will.
discoveries?
Hoo-yah.
It's getting scary there. I thought it was going to give me a whole bunch.
If I start at level 4, where what's the
You should start at 9,000.
what's the bar? 9,000. Okay, so I'm
Yeah,
at
I think that's what we had
9,200.
said.
Okay.
Is that right,
do I
Will?
get
You're both
a-
starting at 9K?
Yes, that's what I mean. Based upon the text that we have exchanged, yes. that is what I will say.
Excellent.
Okay, I'm
What
at
is-
2,000. Or sorry,
No, go ahead. I have to
I
figure
was-
this out.
just saying my XP is 27,774.
A lot of experience.
6th level now.
Nice.
Is there what's
Would
the
you-
threshold for the 10% extra if you're like a paladin, or
For
does that
Paladin,
apply?
your prime requisites are going to
Our
be...
strength and charisma, I want to say.
Okay, so I've got 17 charisma and I've got 16
Yours
strength.
is will.
Gotta
One
double
of them
check
strength, and it might be will, and it might be charisma. I can't remember.
You are Will.
It'd be weird to be
I should know
charisma
this.
because you have to have a 17 to be a paladin. Yeah, that would be like
Right.
a fruitless requirement.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you say that like second edition doesn't put fruitless things in there randomly. It's,
That's very true. That's a very observant. You know what? You're right. It is strength and charisma. Look
Strength
at
and
that.
charisma. Yeah. Wow.
But you have to
okay.
have
Lucky
17
fucking
charisma.
bastard.
I
Yeah,
do
You
have
have
some-
to
makes
have
no
the
sense.
17 charisma, so it's great. It's really just strength.
Okay.
You lucky fucking bastard. I have to have dex, strength, and will
Oh wow.
to get the 10%. It's
Is
horseshit.
16 enough for strength?
Oh, I get that as
Oh,
well.
okay.
Good call,
Alright.
Tom.
It's 25
Wow.
extra.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, 25
Maybe
extra on top of that, so
275.
9,000. All right.
And then I roll a d8 plus 2 for the HP.
Yep. Let's do
Oh
it.
my god, you get to roll d8s,
What do you get to roll? D4s?
d6s.
Yeah.
Oh,
wait.
It's all right.
Oh, yeah. I gotta roll my d10.
That's why we
Me too.
care about those plus twos that high cons
Yep.
for.
We do, boys.
Connor?
Drew.
Yeah, we do, boys.
Ooh, same HP rolls. Very nice.
The
The
you
Malachite
should have asked
roll.
Tom to do it for you. His rolls are always better.
Yeah.
And then I just get
Oh,
another
that's not
spell
gonna-
slot, so I have 2 level 3 spells.
I just kind of accepted that I'm gonna have really low HP for a fighter. I came to in terms with that, like on my second HP roll.
Yeah.
Well, here we are in Meadstead. The people have been freed, but the town has very clearly been sacked and looted. The houses that you would expect to have treasure in them do not. The churches are looted of their gold and silver and gems and jewels. The keep has no treasure either. it looks like all of the valuables of Meadstead have already been exported somewhere to some loot baron who is hiding it all. The people, those that have survived, have been set free and are struggling with their situation, but their dark night is temporarily over. What are you going to do now?
So we're in Meadstead currently, correct?
Yes, sir.
I believe we're going to go back to Confluence and then to HighCastle. I think that's our next step.
Is there anything that you need to do before you embark upon this section of your journey?
I got a non-weapon proficiency.
Do I get anything at level 5? I don't think so. Since I'm not specialized, I can't master.
No, you get yours at 3s. Every 3 levels you get a weapon and non-weapon, I think. Or it's 3 for a weapon and 4 for a non-weapon?
No, it's 3 and 3. I'm looking at your table.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So the cleric will get a non-weapon. Is there anything that you're working on, cleric?
I'm not really working on anything right now, I don't think. I'm trying to think of like what I would take. I gotta find the non-weapon proficiency table, hold on.
Well, think about it for a while. We don't have to do it immediately. So the rest of the party is gathered forth, ready to return to HighCastle by means of Confluence, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
But
And
real quick, just want to make sure we get this cleared out. Level 5 ranger, I don't get shit, right?
correct.
Get HP, brother.
Maybe
Besides
new
HP.
saves.
You get your
Yeah, saves, HP, and Thaco.
and rogue ranger hiding abilities.
Oh, yeah, sure. I've been keeping
get-
track of those.
Yeah, because you have a base chance to do a bunch of shit automatically, right?
Not a base chance. And then the next
31%
time
chance to hide in shadows, 40% chance to move silently.
Well, sorry, not a
pretty good.
bunch of things. Not
No.
a bunch of things is what I meant to say.
Right.
Yeah.
But you
But
do get
besides
your
that, and then my
see.
tracking goes up at level 6.
Yes, your tracking goes up at every
3
level
levels.
divisible by 3, yeah. The rules of protector are good. Oh, did we ever pick out your favorite enemy as a ranger?
No. Remember we said
yeah.
we'd have something happen, and I've been thinking on it, like, haven't really had a lot of situations. Like, the closest one I'd say is undead,
Uh-huh.
but
That's a good favorite enemy.
it is a good favorite enemy. But you do have to realize that it would be incredibly difficult to not just attack undead on sight. Like, it's straight up you roll a will check with like a -4 penalty.
Yeah,
Or
and I
some
think
shit.
it has to be more of like a species that you get to know, although I guess an undead is close enough to a species. It is like a whole concept unto its
Yeah.
own. And I guess the bonuses for fighting, I think the way it's designed is you're supposed to get good at fighting one creature and knowing where their weak points are, but
Yeah.
the weak points of undead feel very varied since it's such a broad range of things. You know, you could have like undead zombies or undead ghosts or undead
Sure.
vampires.
Oh,
so,
sure. Yeah.
I
I
We'll
think in
find
later
something.
editions it allows you to just say undead.
But
But-
later editions are a little.
They're shit, Koibu.
Are you allowed to just say humans?
Yes. Yes, you
Oh,
are.
you can?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That can be your
I mean,
favorite
I would
enemy is other
say,
people.
like-
You'd be the asshole ranger who hates humans and has a -4 on all of your reaction checks to humans.
Yep.
The Manhunter.
Yeah, I think we're good to go to Confluence whenever.
Yeah.
Let's do
it. I think on our way out of time, Chive stops everybody and he says, "I've got this one today, guys." And then he pulls out his chanter from around his neck, and he opens it up and he puts a little bit of horsehair inside next to the reed, and he closes it up again. And he plays a little tune, and he summons a light horse. Casts him out,
Nice.
and we're gonna do this 4 times. So I think it takes 10 minutes each time.
You have 4 spell slots?
I do.
You
I've
can-
got 3 first and 1 second, and that's a first level spell, and I'm just gonna burn it all.
All right. You burn it all. You create 4 magical mounts. What do they look like?
They're all just regular horses. They're all light horses with just regular leather saddles on them. They're not too fancy. They're just practical. They work. One's like kind of a black horse. One of them's kind of like a painted horse. One's brown with like some darker brown spots. You know, just typical horses. All a little bit different.
Okay. It takes 40 minutes to create the 4 horses, and they will each last for 2 hours plus 1 hour per level, and you are level 5?
Yes.
4? 3? 5?
5.
So they'll last
Well,
for
4.
7... 4? Okay.
4.
6 hours then.
6 hours then, yeah.
Yep.
6 hours and 20 minutes, but yeah.
5 hours and 20 minutes?
Well, it was 7 hours and then.
Oh, it was 7? You're level
Yeah.
5? Okay, got it.
Or level 4, and then you said it was 2? I'm sorry, 6.
Yeah,
You're
so
right.
6
you're right.
minus... Yeah. So 5 point... a quarter or whatever. 5 and a third hours. And that should be...
True.
Let's see. The movement speed of these horses is...
Should be 24.
24?
Uh-huh. And you can go double that, right? In miles?
Yep. So you could go 48 miles across open terrain.
In a full day. and
Luckily, the
Confluence is 30.
Harkenwood is pretty light wood area, if you ask me. So you can easily head out from Meadstead, down the peninsula, cross the bridge into Harkenwood, and from there on, there are roads and trails that will lead you directly to Confluence, and you can make the whole journey in but a single day.
Beautiful.
Arriving in
Amazing.
Confluence. Town as much as you have left it. People here are sort of just doing their thing. You can see that there are a lot more armed bands standing about, though. That's the only real difference from before, which is maybe a little bit curious because before there was an actual threat of this town, and now town is freed, but there's all these people standing around, all these peasant levies that have been raised. You don't see their lords or knights around anywhere, but the levies are standing about in town as you enter Confluence.
We're gonna go to the wizard guy who we met before in the Baron's keep.
The court
Was that
wizard.
in HighCastle?
We met
No,
two.
no,
We met one
there was
here.
a court wizard in Confluence. Remember the Baron had a pet wizard?
Right. Okay.
We want to talk to the pet.
All right. Let me just see where I put my notes on that.
I guess while you do that, I'll ask the bard if he knows anything else about my spear or his cloak.
Well, let's take a look. Take a look here, and I'll sit around and examine the cloak and the spear, and see what we get. I think it's a 20% base chance out of a D100. So just
It should be a certain percent per level, right?
yeah,
Is
it's
it
5% per level. I'm
Okay.
4, so 20%.
Yeah, there you
You
go.
want high or low? Ooh, low it is.
16
Yeah. That'll
for
do it.
the spear,
The spear.
and then
And for the other one?
Bow.
the other one. Oh, that's not a copy paste. 23.
Oh, so close.
I thought you 25. Fuck, yeah, close.
That was close.
So you can tell more or less the same thing that we already know about the spear. This is a hobgoblin relic that has been seen about. The story that you know about this is that there was a hobgoblin a few years ago, maybe, what year is it now, 2012? 15, 12? Maybe 3 years ago or so. There was a group of giants that were led by a pack of hobgoblins that attacked the city of Redport, or the town of Redport, some time ago. And with them, there were a bunch of Kuatoa, which are strange fishmen that came out of the sea. Redport was lucky enough to withstand the onslaught, slaying the hobgoblins, killing a couple of, 1 or 2 mountain giants, fending off most of the fish folks. And the hobgoblins and giants and remaining fish all sort of melted away and disappeared.
Oh.
You haven't.
So it doesn't sound like the hobgoblins are around anymore. It sounds like they all died off for the most part, or disappeared.
They fought. They failed. They didn't all get slaughtered. Some of them escaped, and
Right.
that was that. And they still exist over here. They live in the Rock Ridge, which is this mountain range off to the side.
Oh, perfect.
Has he ever heard about like a non-hoblin figure wielding it with fire, or no?
Nope. The only story he knows is of a hobgoblin that was wielding a burning spear made out of the spine of some creature, leading hill giants into battle.
Well,
Good question
Well-
would be, how did it get from over here to
Yeah.
that necromancer's hand?
True.
Necromancer
yeah.
probably came from over there.
the good news, at least he's not around here with the hobgoblins. It doesn't look like they're going to run us down for it. There's no reason to not keep it around. Sorry, I just don't know anything about your cape. I'd have to read some more. But maybe about your bow. I'll point to our good old buddy and see if he passes his bow or not. Jeb?
I will relay the information.
Oh,
I think
okay.
in English language that he can understand.
Oh my god, we've got to solve
Yeah,
this
totally forgot about
linguistic
it.
problem.
It's happening slowly. Like I took a proficiency slot for it at level whatever the
Mm-hmm.
fuck.
All right,
Like-
we'll get there.
It's just, I think, it's basically like, hey, I've taken my second year of Spanish now
Yeah.
in
Right.
high school, so I can like ask some basic things. I can
Where's the
probably tell
bathroom?
you that the king lives over there.
I will start making like an effort to like primarily like
Yes.
respond to him and stuff in the tongue that I'm speaking with these people. But like if I can tell he's not understanding, I'll swap back and like explain what I just said to him, so you can like pick up words more.
Yeah.
If there's a way, like if I could take that as
Full
like a
immersion.
non-weapon proficiency, of, like teaching him like a language or something to make it go quicker or something like that.
A teaching proficiency, if you
like a
will.
teaching
Oh my god, I
proficiency?
think there's a teaching proficiency. I think I added such a thing. Hold on. It might
Seems
exist.
like a really good one.
Yes, I think I added a whole bunch of dumb proficiencies for like NPCs that no PC would ever take, and I think
Here I am,
teaching is
Quavo.
one of them.
Your dream.
Tutoring,
There it is.
wisdom-based proficiency,
I'm real
available
good
to
at that
priest for
shit.
1 slot.
I'll grab it.
Oh wait, hold on. It says torturing, not tutoring. We're gonna add a tutoring one as well for the
Whoops.
same thing.
Fuck, I might want the
Whoops.
torturing one as
I
well.
accidentally tortured him.
You get a torture.
Same thing,
Do I
right?
get I only get 1 slot, right? Not 2?
Yeah, you get 1.
Okay.
Somehow he learned a language out of it. Wow.
Do I get a adjustment for it?
Um,
Learn the language
no,
of pain.
I think it's like a passive thing. I don't think there's gonna be a lot of tutoring checks, so it'll just be a flat wisdom thing.
All right. Well, I have a tutoring proficiency now.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm adding it to the list of proficiencies that we need here.
Beautiful.
Call me an NPC, everybody. I took the NPC prof.
That's all right. If you looked at mine, you'd be very disappointed.
I might need the torturing proficiency soon, though.
That's all right. I think you guys can get some help with that. Maybe a helping hand or two.
Maybe a little bit. Yeah, I'll like hand him over the bow, see what he says about it.
Sorry, I need to read some
37?
more.
No.
Wow. Thanks for the try, man. I real appreciate it. Probably say that in mystery and not even thinking about it.
Yeah, no problem.
What'd I
man.
tell you? We're speaking new languages. Say it in Erdonian.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I forgot. Thank you, Chavs,
Good.
for the story.
Yeah, no
Yes.
problem, man.
Good enough.
Appreciate it. All right, let's go see this court wizard. Got something to do with him.
Okay. You can get to the court wizard. Who didn't find my notes on because I'm a disorganized asshole who puts notes in 5 different books instead of in 1 book. You guys are not drug dealers. You are not at the Shelterwood Inn.
Or a Google Doc.
You are not a Google Doc.
No, I'm saying you could put your notes in a Google Doc.
Yeah, that's right. I checked first. Scrivener and Google to see if it was there. Check over here. Rolls, hammer. No. It's somewhere over here. I'll find it. Anyway, you can find the wizard.
Excellent.
Hello.
Mighty fine to see you again. I got word from the king, and he's willing to let us bring our people from Latrine over.
Mm-hmm.
That shithole. But in order to do so, on the king's orders, as they say, I think we need some money, and I think my bard here needs some spells that you might know. So I think we're here to do a trade with you. I pull out the magical potion.
Ooh.
You have any use for this, or would you know anybody who is in?
He's the one who told us what it did.
I think so, yeah. Or have anybody who's interested in shopping for one of these? We'd need to hire a cargo ship to bring them over.
The wizard muses over the concept. This is the yellow potion of grease, right?
Correct.
Yeah. This is a prize, a good prize that the wizard would love to have. What can we do in terms of trade? He thinks aloud. Fortunately, I may not be the wealthiest man around. I would be willing to trade this for a spell, perhaps? One potion, one spell?
What about maybe you, I don't know somebody on the dock with a big cargo ship, or maybe you talk to the Baron. I know you guys work very closely together. Maybe you could convince him or ask his Baroness to lend us a ship for 2-3 days.
Fortunately, none of the ships here in Confluence will make it to the Grand Canal. There's a bit of a waterfall. Our ships only go up and down rivers.
Well,
I have an old friend who had an adventuresome life on the high seas. He might be able to help you.
Where would he be? HighCastle, I'd hope.
No. He is in Keldaram, the dwarven city to the north. The capital of the newly founded dwarven empire. Oh, those silly dwarves.
I look
Dwarven
at him
empire.
with eyes wide.
He realizes that you're a dwarf and goes, it's about time the dwarves had an empire of their own.
No, I think we'd be better under, what's the king of HighCastle's name again? I need to write it down.
Oh, God. Great question.
He's the new king, it's not a big deal.
New king.
I don't have it written down. Sorry.
The problem with having notes is that you now need to
You
remember
gotta
your
find
notes.
him.
You gotta
Yeah.
find
See,
Why do you-
that's
why
what I
do
like
this?
about having 7 in. I just don't take any notes.
That's what I did on my 5-int character.
HighCastle. Here we go.
I took more notes when I didn't have to manage spells.
Nope. Count Albin Dropper is dead. Who is his replacement? I have already forgotten the king's name.
It's not that
And-
important.
As long as nobody's gonna get pissed at me for calling him the king of HighCastle rather than his name, we can
That's
continue
fine.
on.
Yeah,
We'll
just
find
call him the
later.
king of
Okay, there you
HighCastle.
The king of HighCastle. Well, we might take you up on that, but my bard here is looking for a very particular spell, so let's see if we can wheel and deal that first. If not, we'll redeem your favor in Keldaron.
Well, as my friend was saying here, maybe I can help with this. You're not very rich in gold, however rich in knowledge, and I was hoping to trade you some knowledge for some knowledge. So, the
Fine.
necromancer up north was had turned, unfortunately, one of the temples into his unholy. Well, I don't know if you'd call it holy, unholy, what you call his place of work. However, I have his books from there, and I can show you exactly what he was doing and how he was doing it. Now, this is only as important as you can make better protection spells to stop and know what's coming your way. So I think this would be of great value to you. I have 4 books that I think would be of great value, and 2 other books I think or 2 other sets that would be of value in themselves. So 5 total things of knowledge, if you will, to trade.
And see his eyes go wide and his mouth begins to water in a Pavlovian response to this information about the tomes of this necromancer. Yes, I'm sure we could make some sort of deal. You have 4 books and a potion. What about 5 spells? 1 per book and 1 per potion.
We might need the potion, I think, for the transport, it seems like, correct? So maybe just 4 for 4?
Fine. 4 for 4.
Is that all right?
I poke him and whisper to Chives, 4 for 5. Look at him frothing.
Look,
And
sometimes you don't press your luck on some of these. We'll get it on
I'll say it out loud. 4 for 5. You made fun of me. It's the least you can do.
Give me a charisma check.
Also, oh
Okay,
God,
that's fine.
no.
That was quite rude.
I'm so sorry about that. I didn't.
Look,
You know
I
how
don't think you meant any harm by
I'm
it.
not a racist. Look, I have lots of dwarven friends, okay? It's just sometimes you're saying one thing and it comes out in a poor way. Silly dwarves, people are silly too. I profusely apologize, 1,000 apologies. You are clearly a chosen of Tempos, and you have helped slay the necromancers in Meadstead. Your people have done great works, and Eridon would not have been the empire it was without the hard work of industrious, intelligent, and upstanding citizens such as yourself. 4 for 4.
What a wonderfully said thing. I'm sure you meant no harm by it. I think we'll just need to take a look and figure out this trait of knowledge, though. You know what I have. Now, do you have any of the spells that I'm looking for? And one of them being, you need a piece of leather blessed by a priest, I've heard, and you rub it over yourself to make armor appear. One might call it armor.
Yes, a simple armor spell. Classic. Yes. Of course I have
Very
such a thing in my repertoire.
Good. That would be one of them. The second one being a very interesting spell. Some people think it's for trickery. However, down in the basement of this necromancer's tomb, people were locked inside of a cage and unable to get out. So I was hoping that you'd have the spell called Knock, per se, to open up these terrible things.
Yes. That was a spell I learned at the behest of my former lord.
It is quite useful. You should have seen how they were trapped in there. It was quite unfortunate. Terrible place.
It is a very useful spell. Does allow egress into areas otherwise guarded and prevented. It is a spell that could be used to free unjust prisoners, but it's also a spell that can be used to break into a treasury.
He is with the cleric of Tempos and a paladin.
We're traveling with such an honorable party. I see no reason to suspect we do anything wrong with this. And truly, you should have seen the place these people were trapped in. It was truly disgusting. I'm sure you have a spell to look at it if you'd like, but I promise you, you wish you didn't.
I think we brought like a head that like the eyes were moving and everything, and I'll show him that.
Yeah, he sees it. Without giving an answer, affirmative or negative on it, he proceeds. Did you have other spells as well?
I will also say, I'll whisper to him, like, to Chives quickly as he's like talking or whatever. We might want to keep 2 of those books. I could be maybe 1 or 2. I could be very interested in looking into them.
Well, I'm keeping his diary is one of the books I'm keeping. I'm giving him his notes, the book on spirits, skeletons, and zombies. So if you want one of those, speak now.
Give me skeletons.
All right.
No, zombies.
You want zombies? All right. I'll keep the book on zombies. I look back and I'm sorry, my wizard friend, my dwarf over here is needing some reassurances still, so he's keeping one of them. He wants one of the books. I'm sorry. So maybe just one more spell. Maybe if you could possibly give the great one of reading the magic. I've tried to learn it many times. It's just been rather unfortunate in learning it. I'm sure you have it.
Read magic?
Yes.
Such an elementary spell. Surely you must have learned this by now.
You would have thought it's quite incredible that one would have overlooked this elementary spell, but sometimes it happens.
I see. Well, you would be hard-pressed to learn anything on your own without it. I suppose
impossible.
Yes, I suppose that is something I could easily offer you. Armor and read magic and...
Knock, I believe, was the one I asked for. And these are great books that is from just outside the borders, fresh out of the necromancer's lair.
It's certainly worth the cost. I just don't... To be frank, there have been people with shoe sizes similar to your own that have chosen to use such things for their own personal gain to the detriment of the people of Confluence.
So you're bringing up short people again.
No,
no, it's quite all right. It's quite all right, Wizard. I just maybe it's not the time to just talk about short things. I think shortcomings in people's characters not the thing that we have over here. We have
meant
nothing
that
but tall.
they're peoples whose loyalties are not to
racist.
Confluence. Peoples whose loyalties are not to that of the town, but to no one. People who have no home cannot necessarily be trusted, for they can steal from one area and move on to the next. And as I understand, you are refugees with no home, nothing to nail you to. You could use knock to steal all the people
refugees,
here
my friend.
and flee.
I have a home. I'm just choosing to travel some in my youth. Is there any problem with that?
Where's your home?
I wish to go home eventually, just not yet.
I hand the book of zombies back to my bard, and I take the book of skeletons. By the way, okay. Swap a room.
You want to swap a room? Okay.
That's fine.
Well, if you can promise me that you will never use this spell to steal from good people.
Of course, I would never steal from a good person. I would never do something against someone who has never wronged me. Never.
Can you swear it to me? Make me an oath.
Shives thinks about it for a moment. Oaths are very serious business. They're not to be taken lightly. Let me think about my words.
Did he say good people?
Yeah.
Your wizard. He's with a cleric of Tempos and a paladin.
There's a paladin in our presence? I did not know this.
I am not a paladin any longer, Ebner. You should not have said. I'm saying this to Ebner. I'm not a paladin any longer. I cannot.
This is our paladin, and I
anymore.
point at him.
He looks to the paladin, the fallen paladin, eyebrows raised. You? Where are your trappings of your deity? Who do you serve? Do I know your name?
You do not know my name. My name is not important, but I will say that if you have heard of the deeds of my party that we have come before you here today, I can vouch for Chives and these other three men. I have traveled with them for a fair bit of time, and I know that they are upright and upstanding people. And
I poke him and say, "Tell him your name, son," and I give him a wink. He might know it. Don't be meek.
My name is Valerio.
Valerio, the paladin of Velmontarius, the god of justice. I have heard of you by reputation. Where are your trappings? Where are your scales?
When we went into Meadstead, we were undercover. So, as you see, we're a very just group. I follow Tempos. There's another godly paladin here.
Ebner, I think he can speak. Let him speak for himself if it matters. It's quite all right.
You have heard no ill deeds of the people that I travel with, or of anyone here. We have just killed a necromancer. We have attempted to free a village. This person who is asking you for your help and your knowledge is doing nothing more than to do just deeds. And I would hope that you can...
I am just concerned that an oath given by a person who associates with a fallen paladin of justice might not be a serious oath.
Well, I think the gods act on everybody the same, even wizards alike. I don't think there's any difference between us in their eyes. So he's fallen. He was still closer than you've ever been. I mean, let's be realistic here. And I travel with clerics who are much closer to the gods than you or I. They only gave us the ability to do what we do, to use our heads. And I need the spell to help me on our way. You never know. We're traveling and moving our people a great deal of distance. That spell could be quite helpful along the way. I don't think this is a ridiculous question at all. I haven't asked what you're going to do with the books. I've left you to your own devices, even though there's great evil within them.
Well, I am an employee of the state. I would never deign to use these dark
and I would
works
never
for
even
evil.
question you on it.
Right, but your offense, your credentials are not as clearly laid out as mine. You are.
So I should just take these books and leave them?
I
Mr.
want
Wizard,
to hear that you will not use them for
you said
harm against my
worker
people.
of the of the
State.
government.
Yes.
It is a simple spell. This is not.
You
this is
could
nothing
say-
ridiculous to ask for.
The monsters back home are workers for a state, and they rob us blind. I'm sorry if that
wizard.
does not mean much to me. You trust me to walk around with a crowbar where I can access anything. What more is his spell than a fancy crowbar?
It's a interesting notion. Fancy crowbar as it is a very fancy crowbar. One that could be used to bypass magically locked doors. Ones that a typical crowbar could not get through. You could use it to open a safe, for example. You could use it to steal from the Baron here. You could use it to rob
Why
the
would we
people
steal
of
from someone who's
Confluence.
offered us a home? That's
To be
ridiculous.
fair, I even offered the Baron of this land Meadstead. Do you remember that, right? Offered it up to him
I-
first.
Do believe I heard such a remark?
I think I've shown my loyalty to this land and to the party. I think that this spell is for formality.
My
Alright.
dear wizard, I only ask that you judge us based on our actions and not our and we are here to move people from a worse place to a better place. That is all that we are asking. That's all
If
we
you
are
were
asking
going to
to
be
do.
settling your people in Meadstead, as the rumors speak, then I suppose you will have a home, and you will be easy to find. Knock it is. Knock, armor, and, oh yes, read magic, that trifle. Excellent.
And since that one's so trivial, maybe you could do detect magic as well. They're kind of in the same family. I'm sure
you
they're very close.
cannot detect magic?
See, look, I'm very knowledgeable. I can read about everything. It's just some things are very, overlooked.
This is what happens when bards dabble in magic. They take ridiculous spells.
You're telling
sure-
me.
I'm sure you have some nonsense like, I don't know, gaze reflection learned instead of one of those critical spells like detect magic or read magic.
Absolutely.
So be
All
it. You
So be
can stay with me and read
sounds
out of
important.
my books until you have learned these spells.
And a note to your friend in Keldaram. You think he'd be
Yes.
interested? Yes, thank you.
Yes.
All right, and I'll turn over the zombie spirits and the notes book from the necromancer.
Perfect.
And
And
I
Throw in the diary on top of it. Oh,
no,
you want the
keep
diary?
that. Yes.
All right.
And I forgive you for your racism.
I'm terribly sorry about that incident. I didn't mean it was.
It's fine.
It was a
I'm your
slip of the tongue.
dwarven- What's your dwarven friend name?
Rock Basher.
All right, you can tell the next person that your dwarven friend's name's Ebner. It'll be more believable.
All right. The party can rest in Confluence because it's going to take a couple of days to learn these spells. I do believe it is D2 days per spell level to learn. And
I'll
you'll
be
still have to
doing-
make a roll.
A few things
Yeah,
as well.
6. I've got to make rolls, and it's 65%.
Yeah.
Just roll well. 2. That's good.
Did you just learn all your spells?
One,
did.
I said detect magic, read magic. I got armor, and then that's 4, right?
That's for you had
Yeah, we did.
65% chance.
65% chance. Yeah.
So it's
Um,
3 first and 1 second level spell. So it's going to be
Right.
3, 4, 5 D2 for the number of days that it takes to learn this shit.
Want me to roll it?
Yes, please.
You just rolled a D65.
Oh, I did roll a D65. Oh my god! No
Oh.
wonder, Connor, your brain
Oh
is too
shit.
good.
Okay, what's the order again?
So I was like, wait a minute.
Just
somebody
armor,
checking.
detect magic, read magic, and then
Armor, detect
not.
magic, read magic, knock. Okay, give me D100s.
Two.
Armor,
Damn.
no detect
No.
magic, yes on read magic, and yes
Cool.
on knock.
Cool. All right. You have a chance though. Read magic was the better one of those to learn.
2d10?
2d5.
10?
2d5, sorry.
5d2?
The number of days, 5d2.
5d2.
5d2, yeah.
Take 5-0 days.
8.
Okay. I'm going to do a few things during this. 5 days, I'll be curing people's blindness.
Ooh.
2 a day. And deafness. So that's 10 people cured of blindness and deafness. The last 3 days, I will be doing 2 omen readings. Well, actually, omen readings is like a thing that I can just do. So I will cure 14 people's blindness and deafness. You can throw in disease. Actually, 10 people's blindness and deafness, 4 diseases. And then the last 2 days, I'm going to be casting weather prediction.
Excellent. I think in a town the size of Confluence, you're not going to actually have that many blind and deaf people, but you might have that many diseased people.
Yep, I'll do as many as diseases as I can. If I notice that there's no blind or deaf people,
Yeah.
I think you noticed that the first time we came through here.
yeah, I would have noticed that. So then I'll just do diseases then.
Towards the end of it, like 2 days into it, I might come up to Ebner and ask for the last 2 days before I go into the continue studying.
What do you mean? Sorry, I didn't understand.
I need your help with making a spell component.
Yep, I can do that.
Right, the blessed leather that you need. Yeah?
That should
Super
be a blessed
handy when you
spell,
have
8 hours in a holy place, and I'm hopefully that he can take care of all of that. And I just need, if you do 2 of them, that's great. So 2 days worth.
I think as Ebner is doing that, I'll probably help him out. I don't know if I can help him out with, like I have anatomy and healing proficiency. I don't know if I can go around with my little kit and help people with
Absolutely.
minor.
I think
whatever.
you and Ebner will probably take up in the temple here in town, where the sick and injured will usually come for assistance if they can. Those 2 port afford private doctors. And usually healing is pretty limited. You know, clerics here are maybe somewhere between 4th or 5th level, so they'll have a few healing spells per day, so they have to be very judicious with how they give them out. Your appearance here will be quite well received.
And I'll take 2nd level healing spells the whole time, so I'll just pop them out every day.
Okay.
I can do naps and stuff too if needed. But
Yeah. Now, Valerio, you're gonna get some sideways looks from the clerics in the temple. You know what you're doing. You're here to help people, so they leave you be. But paladins are few and far between, and people who are like into the gods, so to speak, or people who are in positions of power tend to know the names of the paladins that have cruised around, and it becomes very clear to you that these people have recognized you from stories in the past. And they keep, you'll look up and people will be looking at you and then they'll quickly look away. You can tell that they're discussing you behind your back in whispers, and because they never really approach you about any of these things, it doesn't feel good.
Right, I gotcha. I would say Valerio's probably this isn't surprising to him, as long as they don't they don't approach him or bother him while in the process of doing healing work, then I would say that's pretty expected, and I'll just go about my trying to do good deeds. Yeah.
I'm gonna cast weather prediction on the very last day. Just get this out of the way. I linked what it does. 95% first day, 10% each additional day. So this is for, I'm gonna do 7 days. So 1, lower, 2, that doesn't work. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I think 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know that I should predict accurately the first day, the 3rd day, the 5th day, and the 7th day. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I hear you.
I don't know if these are supposed to be secret rolls, actually. Maybe you should be the ones rolling.
I probably
this,
should have rolled them in
Yep,
secret.
so you can roll.
That's all right. I will make some adjustments here. We are going to be, it is going to be May when you guys leave. Okay. So your weather prediction that you get is going to be clear skies for the whole week.
Okay.
It should be a nice, easy journey.
Good.
And you guys are going to be headed towards Keldram.
Yep.
How would you like to get there?
We're gonna mount
Horse?
up. Horse.
So you're just going to go overland.
Yep. And then I'm gonna talk to the bard and tell him that I have the nap spell, and I can nap him at some point, and then we can keep riding. Like, we can move really fucking quickly.
We could like force ride that whole way, is what you're saying?
Yeah,
those
we
horses
could
don't
probably get
tired.
there in a day.
That might work. Let me take a look and see what I can remember about this spell. Look at my notes. I think that'll work.
Should work. Unless bards have something weird with nap. And I'll
your
give you my
spell list, no
spell
wonder.
list again, Quibo.
Okay.
Invis to undead, light, cure moderate wounds, nap, and then create camp site and choose future.
So yeah,
Okay.
that'll work just fine. We can ride
Excellent.
as long as we can stay awake.
Why don't we take our first break here? It'll be May 8th is when you set out for Keldram. And we will come back and do that on the other side of our first break. See you guys soon. Bye. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Desperate Measures.
Hello.
Fire and forget, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then the next
Oh,
day
okay.
we wake up and I cast Mount for all four of us again, and we take off.
And you take off, go into Keldram. All right, the party will. You're gonna mount, and you can do
5.5
6
hours.
movement
hours.
speed
sounded like.
24
Yeah, 5.5.
for movement speed 12 for movement speed 24.
24 times 2 because you're moving
Right.
whatever. Yeah.
All right, so movement speed 24 times 2, but you're only doing 5-ish hours, 5.33 hours of travel. So
And then
times
we have to nap, and then we
5.33.
can do it again.
Oh, right.
It might be quicker this time to get there without the napping, because it takes an hour to nap. I don't know, but
I don't think so. Because
oh, maybe not then. Yeah.
So it's
okay.
gonna
Yeah.
be
We'll
about
we're 5/8 again, or-
50 something miles to Keldram.
yep. So we can just
Yep.
nap. Whatever.
Yeah. When the first Mount runs out, we just take a nap there.
Okay, it will be a long journey. If you guys are going to be on horseback riding for 10 hours straight without,
Oof.
I mean, you get like the 1 hour nap in there, so you'll get a little bit of a break after the first 5 hours and 20 minutes. But I would like everyone to make me a Constitution check, unless you have a horseback riding proficiency, in which case
got
you're
it.
fine. So you're fine,
Cool.
it doesn't matter. Anyone else that doesn't have a horseback riding proficiency, please make me a con check.
Beautiful.
What's the con check for? Out of curiosity.
Saddle sore.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
the saddle
Nat
soreness,
20.
the chafing of
Does
the
it hurt?
loins.
Like physically, or
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it really does
Because
hurt.
you got this like wide stance for such a long time, and if your horse is going at a nice clip and you have to sort of keep pace with it, the how do you say, the tidbits that hang have
Your
a
balls
lot
get
of
tossed.
your balls
I got
get
it.
tossed and you end up sitting
Friction.
on them. It can be very uncomfortable to just have your balls like bouncing on a saddle. So you got to do it just right and hold the position, and it can cramp your legs. It's very uncomfortable.
Crotchal friction.
And
We'll
when
just
it-
cure
how
light
those
wounds that
cowboys,
away,
have
guys.
their
It's
legs
fine.
bowed out and kicked. It's because that's like what it is sitting on it. Does that
how
to
much
your legs all the time.
damage does it do?
It won't do any like points of damage to you. You guys all passed your con checks, so you're fine. So don't worry about it. But had you failed and we had also run into combat at the same time, I might be like, your legs are sore, your balls hurt, -1 on everything you do, or something, depending on how badly you failed by.
If I dispel somebody's fatigue from that, would that help them or no?
No, no, this is more of like muscle soreness. You'd need like a masseuse to wear to get this shit out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we
why you
know
got
your
the-
next.
White Stance Cowboys.
Your next.
Sounds like I'm gonna have to make a spell.
Yep. There you go. Make a spell.
Make a spell, resist ball fatigue.
Ooh, I like that one actually.
I like it a
I was
lot.
thinking just like a massage spell, but no, that's a good
this
one.
sounds
Okay.
like a
Magic
spell.
or whatever.
It has many uses.
All right. The Hemderkost Hills are going to be a dangerous area for you. And travel through these hills is going to be quite a bit slower. Does anyone have any sort of direction sense or
Yes.
tracking or pathfinding proficiencies?
Yes. Like all
What do
of
you got,
those.
Mr. Ranger?
Well, I've got tracking and I've got direction sense.
Well, then you should be good because you know Keldaram is on the northwest corner of the Hemderkost Hills. So as long as you head northwest, you'll be able to find it. And with your sense of direction, that won't be a problem. It's not like it's hidden, buried in the hills somewhere without any good landmarks. So
It should be pretty self-evident where it's at, basically, is what you're saying.
Mhm.
And even then, if we did get lost, you either turn west and go till you hit water and then go north, or you turn north and you go till you hit water and then you go west.
Mm-hmm.
True.
These are true.
Don't need direction sense for that.
True facts. Factually true.
Okay. It is while you're traveling across the hills on this day in May the 8th, that I call for a perception check from all members of the party.
Yeah.
The dump stat.
Those aren't as scary anymore, but I still can't pass them.
Ooh, Jeb. That 31 is going to do you good.
My 25?
Jeb's 31 outpaces your 25. I'm sorry.
That's fair.
Jeb, you see something in the distance on one of these days, on this day. As you're sort of moving through this canyon between these large hills, there is something that sort of like flutters around the next canyon, the next turn in this canyon as you head
do you mean?
north.
What do you mean flutters?
Like you catch, it's maybe like a cloak blowing in the wind, or maybe someone's arm like behind them. Just you come around this corner and there's like a bit of movement around the next canyon wall, maybe 300 or 400 feet away from you. It's pretty
Yeah.
far, and you just barely catch it. But
Yeah.
there's a thing there,
I'll pull out
something
my bow.
weird.
And they'll be like, guys, I don't think we're alone.
I had already cast my nap spell, correct?
Yes, this is most of the way through your day.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, we got to go around it or through it. What do y'all normally do?
Around.
Let's go around. Let's go more west.
Sounds good to me. Around it is.
Okay.
So like, yeah, that's
You-
what we did with the kobolds around.
So you head west, leaving the canyon, going up to the top of the hill. It'll take you a little while to make your way to the ridge that you can follow along, and you can keep going. Maybe 45 minutes later,
And I'll
Jeb,
be
you're
on the
still-
lookout, especially since I saw something.
That's exactly what I was about to say. You're on the
excellent.
lookout for stuff. And you catch a thing fluttering sort of behind the party now, down in a canyon below. It's probably an offshoot of the same canyon, which is like swerved to the right and has come back to the left. And this time it's behind you.
How tall is the canyon? Or I guess
maybe like 80 feet or so to the riverbed below, the dry riverbed below.
Okay. So if it's down there, I'm not too concerned about them attacking us, but
Unless
I still can't see exactly what it is.
Right. It's one of those things you glance behind you, and there's like a thing moving behind a cliff face just as you look back.
We'll pick up our pace.
Oh, okay. You make it so you're coming along the ridge of this hill. You can see that this ridge begins to curve and veer pretty far to the east, and you want to keep heading north. So you head down into the next valley, the next ravine, valley, whatever you want to call it, and back up the other side. And when you're starting to come back up over the other side, you catch sight of a thing coming up behind you.
That's hot.
Like a brain.
Some sort of beaked brain creature for just a moment, and then it's gone.
Oh, that thing looks ugly. I don't like it.
That looks absolutely terrifying. Have I ever heard of these things before? Can I local history check it?
You haven't seen it yourself, so let's hear how it gets described to you by Jeb. How would you
What'd you see,
describe
Jeb?
that thing?
I'd probably just start going off in mystery, and because like it's still hard to do, like especially for something like this. There's some sort of beaked brain tentacle monster following us. Probably how far away would you say it is?
150 feet.
150 feet back that way. It's definitely been following us. I've only seen one. There might be more of them, but it's pretty nasty.
What's he saying, Ebner?
I relay it.
We need to.
And I've definitely got an arrow knocked.
Yeah. Give me
Beak-brained tentacle monster.
I can't imagine what that is.
Yeah, give me a history check.
Local history fun?
Chives. Yeah.
How many?
Just the one check. Did you get a 26 there? Is that what
I
that
did.
says?
I did get a one.
Yeah,
that's a
you
26.
know about the Grell. Grell were a problem here in the Hemdrakos Hills maybe like 5 or 8 years ago, 10 years ago, something like that. You weren't really around this part of the world, but there was a problem where a bunch of Grell sort of showed up in these hills, and the new queen of Stromheim, back when Eredon was still a fully functioning kingdom, had to launch like an assault on these things, and there was a short-lived war against these Grell. Eventually, the Grell were defeated, but not before there was a great cost to the kingdom. A lot of low-born troops died. A bunch of knights died because Grell are sort of weird, telepathic, floaty, hovery creatures with paralyzing tentacles and a terrible beak that can rip you to shreds. There's also rumors circulating that they can throw lightning bolts, but that seems maybe a little far-fetched. There were a lot of problems with people who were presumed dead and their land given away during this time, only to actually have survived the whole battle and come back to find that whatever baron they served before had given their land away to somebody else while they were gone. And it created a bunch of broken groups of former soldiers turned brigand that plagued the whole kingdom for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. Most of that has died down now that the kingdom has been shattered and everyone's over.
Ebner, if you see that thing again, tell him to shoot it immediately. Those things are absolutely terrifying. Kill it immediately.
I relay the information.
Fuck that. Telepathic, stunning, giant beak man. I'm out.
Did he see
Throw
any?
lightning
Did he see
bolts.
any more than? Did he see any more than just one of them?
Just
He
the
said
one.
only one. And keep
Just
your
the
eyes
one,
peeled.
okay.
Yeah, let's keep our
Yeah,
eyes peeled and
next-
keep riding.
Next time I see something, like I said, I'm gonna have an arrow ready. just for this.
Mm-hmm. You have a short bow or a long bow?
Longbow. I mean, I have both, but the longbow is magical. I can probably just
Right,
pull
but the short bow can be used from horseback. The long bow cannot be.
Yeah.
Okay, so short bow with an arrow notched. You keep an eye out for Grell. And you keep looking over your shoulder, but you will arrive at Keldaram without having a dangerous encounter with one of these beasts. They're just out there, around, following you, but not quite getting to you this time. You guys will make it to Keldaram, a predominantly dwarven city with tall stone walls. The population here is not wholly dwarven, just predominantly. You will be met at the gate by a small little company of soldiers, a bunch of dwarves with axes and chainmail, and then a bunch of human fighters with leather and bows who sit atop the walls. They will see you coming. The dwarves already on the outside of the walls, making a little entryway or entrance ceremony for you, a greeting line it might be. They see you coming. They have axes already in their hands, not necessarily in a, I'm going to kill you right now, but in a, we are prepared for some sort of shit. It looks like they are on high alert as you guys come into range of them.
I wave as the only dwarf in the party.
The lead dwarf here waves back at you and
I give him
says,
the symbol of Tempos, actually, with my hands.
yeah, he'll make an hourglass back at you.
Hell yeah.
And say in Dwarven, "Hello there. Who be these people with you?"
These be my compatriots, my followers of Tempos.
I wouldn't go that far, Master Dwarf. Compatriots,
I speak in Dwarven.
What is?
I assume that the dwarf would speak to me in Dwarven.
He spoke to you in Dwarven, yes.
There it is, then.
So we wouldn't be.
Yeah. Unless any of you speak Dwarven?
Not yet.
Not yet. Well, soon, though. Soon.
I barely speak Aridonian.
Your compatriots, huh? Followers of Tempos?
Yeah. Well,
They're,
I'll point to the paladin what's the paladin's name again?
Valaria.
Valeria. Valeria, I point to him and say,
well, he's not exactly. He is a paladin, but you know how they do with their gods. But
And what's your business here?
we're here to talk to.
X person's name. I show him physics.
Because he didn't.
Right,
Show him the wizard's note.
Right. He'll take a look at it and nod appreciatingly and goes, "Well, all dwarves are welcome here in Keldaram, and if these are your people and you vouch for them, then they're welcome as well."
I vouch for him.
Yeah, and he then takes a slow look, taking like stock of your party, making sure to memorize faces, and lets his eyes linger all over your weapons and armor, which are plentiful at this point.
I like two
You,
bows.
Keep a tight leash on these folks here. We've had problems in town. These are trying times for us. We don't want any violence breaking out.
We ran into some. We almost ran into some big brain monster back there. You know anything about those? Are there many? Pretty rare now.
They've been spotted more and more as of late. Here's a bit of a problem.
Well, maybe after we finish our thing, maybe we come back and see if we can help you out with that. No promises, but
I like your spirit.
all right. Let me just
All right. Yep, they let you in. They don't take your weapons or your armor, which is a little unusual for such a walled city. And you can come into Keldaram. It has short, squat stone buildings mixed with taller buildings made of wood. It's very clear which is the dwarven architecture and which is the human architecture. You have most buildings just sized for dwarves. A lot of the taverns would be very uncomfortable for human-sized people to venture into. And the city is in not a state of disrepair, but sort of a state of, what's the word? Desperation, maybe? Or there's like a low tone to it. There's not a lot of people hanging out and chatting in the streets. When people are going about their business, they tend to do so sort of quickly and efficiently. There's not a lot of merrymaking. There's no music coming from anywhere. You don't hear anyone singing. There are some dogs barking at each other, but even the dogs are a little bit more quiet than in most towns. There's like a sense of dread filling the town as you come through.
Well, I guess this is what the dwarves like to do. Quiet, slow, dark, dirty. Seems like caves to me. Seems about on point.
We like to focus on our work, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
We don't need time for merriment or anything like that.
Yeah.
Let's
Why have
go.
fun? Life's long, right?
True. Let's go find our guy.
Find our guy.
You can find what was it? I had a name for him. Aramichi. You can find Aramichi down by the docks here in Calderon. He is a human male in his maybe late 50s, early 60s, probably closer to 60s than 50s. And he is, after asking for some directions, tending to a small boat of his, which he has pulled out of the water, and he's currently applying a fresh coat of paint to the sides.
I'll go up to him. Aramichi, I presume.
I am.
We talked to Court Wizard in Confluence,
Right.
and he told us to come meet you.
Whatever his name is.
We're here to.
Court Wizard in Confluence. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
I think he said you owed him a favor.
Yeah, we go way back. In his early days when he was just a dumb student.
He's still pretty dumb.
He helped me out with a couple of things. My buddy and I were raiding this tomb on Lynx Isle, and we needed a wizard. You know, magic traps and whatnot. Things to identify, so we brought him along. He served us good.
Yeah, he
we
seemed like
got
a
some
good guy.
history.
Well, he told us that you owed him a favor, and here we are to claim on it, actually. And I'll show him the note about how we need the boat and everything.
Yeah.
His handwriting is still, I'd assume.
Yeah, yep. Other guy takes a look at it and says, well, you need to move people then, huh?
Yeah, about 100. I don't remember how many.
The population of Latrine.
Yeah, X-population of
AKA
Latrine.
200 people. Give or
I
take.
think it's around the 200 to 300 mark, something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly, but most villages tend to average at 500, and I think Latrine was a small village, so
200.
Okay.
yeah, 2-ish.
Ish.
Yeah. Well, my vessel is... He kind of pats it, and you can see it's not a huge boat. It's got a sail, one mast, and some room for some rowers if you need it. But it's pretty small. It's more like is Nar the right name for it?
Oh, jeez, I don't remember.
How many people do we think
yeah,
we
it's
could
like
fit
a
on
Nar.
it in a desperate time?
You could fit maybe 20 people at a time on it without being, risking people being so cramped that when someone moves, someone falls overboard.
Well, I guess we got two options here. You could. How long do we think it would take to? I'll ask him. How long do you think it'd take to row about 10 miles across?
Well, if the winds are good, we can do 10 miles in... I have no idea how fast boats go. So bad with this ship.
I mean...
Okay, Connor, here you go, buddy. How fast does
Man,
a
this is
sailing ship go?
This is sailing here, man. All my
Yeah.
shit's way better than that.
I know, but you're
something
a
typical,
boatman.
like something like that. I don't know, like
12 knots? Is that a reasonable speed?
that's pretty fast. I say something that small,
Someone Chad said
fully
5
loaded.
to 7.
Yeah, 5 to 7 sounds good. I was gonna
5
say
to
like
7?
How long?
7
How
to 9, but
quack?
yeah.
How
5 to
well,
7
7
is
knots
good.
to a mile?
7 knots about 8 miles per hour.
Oh, so it'd be about like an hour there, hour back.
Yeah. I
well,
could do
10
It'd take
trips.
a couple days.
Or, yeah, about 10 trips. So, about 20 hours of total work. And then your favor be redeemed.
20 hours of work you can pull off in 2 days. Not a problem.
It's going to be down, you know where the Inchari River is?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be about down there.
All right. How are you going to get him down off the cliffs?
Oh, is that like a super cliff
Yeah,
face?
so the canal
How did
here
we-
has like 800-foot high cliffs all over the place.
Well, we're
How
going to
did
be
we
coming.
get across?
You guys must have gone to Stout End, I think, and then taken a boat from Stout End down to Tassel. Because all the towns on the coast will
Then-
have staircases down.
So
Can we take the boat up a little bit into the river and then pick up somewhere a little bit farther away from the edge?
no, because this river will be like a 300-foot waterfall.
Yeah.
When it hits the
I see.
yeah.
going down. Oh, okay.
Right.
Oh,
This is
I
a
assumed it'd be
deep
at the
valley.
bottom there.
Yeah, so
No,
basically
yeah.
we would need a big boat to do it all in one haul.
What about, even better? It'll be only about 5 miles. What about you do it at,
And I'll whisper over. I'm sure there's a little town near the Grand Canal or something that we would know of.
You would need any like marked town has a way down.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise, everything else in between
All these
the
are
towns,
cliff faces.
These are all huge cliff faces.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all the way through the canal, except over here where you are at Keldaram, where the ground has been going down, and is now.
Stout End to Kneecap, maybe? We could talk to the people at Kneecap. Just completely avoid
The issue is
Tassel.
Stout End won't let us.
Where are you trying to bring these folks, huh?
I mean, I'm trying to bring them over to HighCastle. And they're currently, where Honey Reach is in Mistra? About northwest, about, 20 miles.
Well, Stout End to HighCastle is about 70 miles.
Well, I don't want to make you do that. So I think what we could do, we just want to at least get them over to this side of near Kneecap. Just get them over, and then we'll walk them all the way.
All right. Well, I can take you Stout End to Kneecap if you can get him to Stout End safely, and if you can convince the people of Kneecap to let them come up those stairs. I can do that for you.
I could convince the people of Kneecap.
So I've made this journey. I should know how long it should take. How long do I think it's going to take to get to Keldaram, or from Keldaram appropriately to Kneecap to Stout End to Latrine, and then from Latrine bringing the people to Stout End? Probably
You'll
15
probably
days?
go with him by boat down here.
Oh, he'll take us. Oh, yeah, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
'cause-
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise he'd have to somehow find a way to meet you at the right time. So he'll take you here. It's like 154 miles. Navigating the channel is a little bit awkward because it's still connected to the ocean. So when the tide goes out, there's like a deep pull away from this end. But then when the tide goes in, there's like a nice big push this way. So traffic is going to be a little bit weird. You leave at the right time. How far did we say it was? 150 miles?
Yeah, 150.
Yeah, you
One-
could do...
Never mind.
Tides come in groups of what? Every 6 hours or so you have a high and a low tide? So
It literally depends on where you're at.
of course, but if we're trying to get some like rounded approximations and averages, the moon lines up with the
this
sun
is going
every
to start
12
to get
hours.
into Neil. What's the actual shape of your world? Where
It's too much.
in relation to the equator is this continent?
You know too much, Connor. No, you have to suspend all of these things and just go with really, really broad lines.
It's the east coast of the U.S. I.
I don't know
Two
what
high
that
tides,
means.
2 low tides every day.
Yeah, there we go. 2 high tides, 2 low tides, just like every other place on Earth, all day, right?
Yep, every other place on Earth.
Yeah, that's how oceans work. Cool.
Yep.
So it'll be a 2-day journey to Stout End.
Okay.
All right, well, when we get to Stout End, then we got to go over to Latrine. So probably take another day for us to get there. Another day. Well, day to get there, day to get back. This is gonna be about a 8-day job for you. It'll repay your favor. Your wizard friend will be happy, and he'll never ask you anything again. And
I doubt that.
maybe we can give you a little dough for. We don't have much currently, but a little bit.
Well, I'm sure you can introduce me to some of the
women.
more pliable gentlemen of your town.
What does pliable mean in this sense?
Loose.
Gentlemen? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. He gives you
I'll
a smile.
find you a few gentlemen.
Good. Gotta find something to do while we're rowing back and forth and waiting.
Yep,
Okay.
we'll handle it.
And I think with that, you will be able. He'll need to finish painting his boat, so
We'll help him.
you'll kick it
Yeah.
in town for a little while he finishes his
cast
shit,
my-
lets it dry.
Cool spells, Koibu, to gain good favor with the people.
All right, you go around healing folks where you can.
And weather prediction, I'll do it on the last
Yeah.
day to tell him.
So
the
while
day
you're
before.
out healing folks and all that jazz, what are the rest of the party doing in this
I'm-
dwarven city?
Probably gonna help this dude paint his boat. Like that's some pretty simple manual labor that I'm used
Okay.
to.
Okay. What about the other two of you?
Valerio?
Oh, I'll probably be doing my healing thing alongside Ebner as well. The same thing that I did before, because all of these things work to try. Because Valerio's still trying to maybe redeem himself as far as doing good deeds and things like that. Yeah.
And what about you, Chives?
Chives will accompany him to the temple to begin with, and he's going to say a little prayer to Jexel and say, give me good luck. And then he's going to head on over to the tavern, and he's going to gamble his little heart out and try to win as much money as possible.
Great. Give me
I
a.
threw 1 silver to Jexel when I was there, because that is the highest coin that I have.
Excellent. Give me a charisma check for your time in the tavern.
22.
Very high charisma score you've got there, buddy.
It's not bad.
So while you're in the tavern, gambling, which we'll deal with in just a moment, you will overhear and chat with some people about some of the events that have been happening in this area. Apparently, there's some dwarven thane, some dwarven king, with the name Blacksteel, that has been working to bind these 3 dwarven towns, Tharnam, Keldram, and Milfeldur, together into like one nation of dwarves. And it's been a little slow going. You'll hear about how Milfeldur was attacked by cyclops that sort of just dug themselves out of the earth, and this fear that the Hemderkos Hills is like home to some sort of earth giants or earth cyclops that live in the ground and awaken like cicadas every 700 years or something and wreak havoc on the area. There's a lot of concern about this sort of thing. You'll also hear a little bit more about the dwarven thane Blacksteel, who has mithril plate mail and an enchanted mithril weapon that he has been using to organize these dwarves together.
Okay.
Where he gets his gear from, no one really knows, but it has become the symbol of the Blacksteel family. You even get rumors that his guards carry mithril weapons. That's how wealthy and powerful these Blacksteel dwarves are.
Wow.
Okay.
You don't see a
and they're
single
in
one of them.
Keldoram? That's where they're from?
No, they're from some backwoods place that you've never heard of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're from some keep called Blacksteel Keep in the middle of who the fuck knows where. It seems like they were actually a relatively minor section of dwarves who have recently come into power here.
Okay.
Let's see, what else would you pick up about this? Yeah, I think that's it. That's what you learned from here. And give me
Good.
a gaming check.
I think it's just flat charisma as well, right?
Yep. And we're
With the
gonna
gaming
roll-
button, though. It's a 37.
You score a nat 20, and your opponents collectively score a natural 1.
Shit.
You make bank here today, buddy.
That is the day we were looking for.
Jexel's with him today, boys.
Make bank. You find yourself on a hot streak, in a game with stakes larger than you were really looking to be in, but you're on a streak, and you're not gonna fucking fail this thing, right? You
No,
end up
absolutely
with
not. You don't leave when you're on a heater.
No. You end up with 49 pieces of gold.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And 60
Nice.
pieces of silver.
That's more wealth than we have, deal. Like, I think currently.
Not
which
more
is-
wealth than we have, but that's almost more wealth than we've ever made in one time.
Yeah, for sure.
However, you've taken this money from people legitimately through gambling, but when it's over, they are very unhappy about it. The people that this money have come from, one is a disgraced human noble who fled Eridon.
He's probably already
Her
pissed
name is
off. Oh, her name. Excuse me. Sorry.
yeah. Lady Syndra.
Okay.
Mark this.
Uh-oh. That's fine. It's fine.
Another person is it's another woman, a dwarven woman whose name is Gilda Bornhart.
I know there was
That's a-
Dwarven women.
Sure, it's not Rock Smasher or Rock Thrower.
Don't
Ditch
be a
digger.
racist. They're not all rock-related names, okay?
Some deal with shovels. Okay, they deal with dirt.
Or hammers or axes. Yeah.
Oh no, it's the Shovelman clan.
All right. These are my two
And-
new enemies.
No,
Or is there
there's
any more on this
one
list I need to
more
write down?
person.
His
Yeah,
name
yeah,
is
yeah.
Stone Miner Guy.
And this is the last one is an elderly human woman. Her name is
Stole from the lady. Every lady in the tavern.
It's Joka's mom.
No.
Somehow she ended up over there. We
don't know how.
her name
I wasn't gonna
is
use this money to save my son.
Widow von Schnoot.
What an unfortunate and foretelling name.
Yes. So Lady Syndra, the human woman, is sort of, this disgraced person who has fled, leaving her people behind, and has made her residence here in this town. She seems very at home in this tavern that you're in. You're definitely getting like a skeevy, sketchy vibe from her. She doesn't use any thieves' cant that you can pick up on, but the way that she interacts with the wait staff lets you know that she knows these people pretty well.
Regularly.
And the wait staff are all like low-born people. But then when she talks to you, she uses her like highfalutin, noble Eridonian tone. The dwarf Gilda Bornhart. She's got a problem. All right. She's one of these gamblers that doesn't know when to quit until she's lost everything. And today was a bad day for her. Some of this gold that you have is probably actually in the form of jewelry that she's carrying. We'll just count it as pieces of gold because it's like, a pair of earrings that are gold that have the value of a piece of gold and, the weight of less. And the Widow von Schnoot is a very proud woman who is only at this table because this is the table where the games are being played well. And the other gambling establishments are just not that great. So she's proud. She thinks she's really good at this. And this is what she's been doing to pass the time since her husband died in the war. And now she has the estate and the men-at-arms. And her pride is deeply wounded by your wild success. She is looking at you with those eyes that she thinks you're cheating. Sort of
So Neil,
eyes.
this is what I like to picture is happening here. So, with the disparity between a nat 20 and a nat 1, all 3 of them are just like, he's just like, all right, I got a pair of 2s. And they pull out, all right, I've got a string, I got my sock from my boot, and then here's my earring.
Yeah.
And you're like, I won with a pair of 2s.
Yeah. It's stuff like that. Or it's the like, everyone's got a good hand, and then the last card flops
massive
down.
suck out. Yeah.
And he gets the inner straight, and it's just over. Yeah.
I'll look over to Miss Von Stute, as she seems to greatly when I go, well, seems like you're having an unlucky day. I think if you ever want to play again, I'll be around. Y'all like this place the best?
I don't like the company, she says as she gets up.
That's unfortunate. You seemed like you were a pretty good player. And then I'll look back to the rest of the table. Well, what about the rest of you? Any more games? Or are we done here for today?
Gilda Bornhart shoves herself away from the table and says, I don't like the looks of you, halfling. Show me your sleeves, huh? Shake 'em
pull
out.
up my sleeves. Shake them out. No problem.
Bah! She tosses the cards on the table and storms off. The Lady Syndra stays here, rolling her fingers on her glass of liquor.
Since the dwarf
gazing
left?
in your eyes. Yeah, the dwarf left. It's just you and Lady Syndra.
I go, well, good thing about being a gambler and being a dwarf is it's all about repetition and time. So you've got both of those left. So what about another game?
My dear Chives, I believe we will meet again very soon. And when we do so, my fortunes will be reversed. But for today, we will call it. It seems you have the luck of Jexel upon your side tonight.
I did give him a prayer before coming. He's a good dude. I'll hop down out of my chair and I'll walk on out. And I'll turn the first corner, and then I'm hiding in the shadows until I point back to where I'm going.
You can feel her eyes gazing into the back of your head as you walk away, and you slip out of the door and quickly hide in the town. You're a halfling. You're going to be able to hide in this town from humans pretty easily because there are a lot of buildings that you're just going to have a lot of trouble getting into. And
I'm
you
just
will.
looking out for Syndra,
really
and
small
I'm
places.
staying in low brow places. She's the only one I need to watch out for. She's the only dwarf.
I thought she was a human.
Let's see.
Gilda
human.
Bornhart is the dwarf.
The dwarf.
She ran
Gilda
out
Bornhart.
already.
I'm sorry. So Syndra left. Gilda's the one I'm worried about. Okay, that's
Careful,
fine.
he'll murder Hobie. He'll murder Hobie you like he did with Zaz.
I guess where does Chives
Just
go?
kidding.
I guess I go back to the boat. I can just go hang out with everybody. We're just not going to talk about this ever,
Bless you.
at least for now.
Excuse me.
We're just gonna wonder why you're paying for a lot of awesome shit at left and
We're
right.
just not going to worry about it because y'all won't even know it's gone because you'll see me cast spells. Be like, oh, that was a cool spell. And I'll be like, yeah, it was 20 gold. It was a real cool spell.
All right. I believe that will wrap up our adventures here in.
I'm gonna do my weather
Teldram.
predictions if you
Oh, yes.
toss them out for the sea.
Yes. Let's see. 95% chance for the first day?
Yep, 10% for each day after.
Okay.
I'll just do
So
it
the first day is going to be sort of clear. Second day is going to be slightly overcast. Third day is going to be overcast. Fourth day is going to be stormy. Fifth day is going to be stormy. Sixth day is going to be sunny. And seventh day is going to be sunny.
Okay, thank you. I will relay it to the ship captain.
Well then, we'd best leave bright in the morning. We don't want to be caught in a storm in the Grand Canal. You should see it. When the waters start going sideways instead of up and down, oof. You don't want to get broadsided by one of those suckers. We should
Not
get there
good.
as quickly as possible.
Yep.
All right.
Ebner, you wanted this book about the skeletons, right? I just don't know if I want to carry this around anymore. It might encumber me.
I take it.
Okay, cool.
Um,
I just called it Skeleton Necromancer book, and then I
Pound?
did the typical weights, which I think is 3 pounds. I deleted it.
I'll add it.
Mhm.
Can one of these days while we were in the town, Ebner would have liked to, go off on his own a little bit. When I'm curing people, I don't know, for just a little bit, I'm going to do my divination. And I'm going to divine. I'm basically going to just, I know Tempos isn't going to commune exactly back to me, but like kind of in the Christian religion where you pray and like you hope they listen or whatever. I'm going to kind of do that, but like do my whole spiel about, Ebner has just seen what a single necromancer can do with all his power. And Ebner realizes that there's a whole siege going on in Stromheim. And the siege is probably primarily of hundreds, if not thousands, of undead. And Ebner is currently struggling. I like to think of Ebner as like a chaotic good character, so he'll do whatever he can to like do the most good. And the most amount of harm in the world right now is the undead threat that's happening near Stromheim. So how is this going to be fixed? Ebner kind of muses to himself and talks to his god. Ebner comes up with the solution that maybe he needs to kind of use the unholiness and the undead for like a means to an end, and he wants to divine about that. Like, would Tempos understand if Ebner started raising dead of evil people primarily to maybe deal with this massive undead threat? That's what he talks about, and that's the question that he asks.
Well, we'll find out the answer to this question on the other side of our break. See you guys soon.
Amazing.
Bye-bye. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Desperate Measures.
Literally wiped out a town at Stromscale Lake, and 3 Scoria. Which threats can he deal with? Well, we just dealt with the Necromancer, so let's start on this one. But we've seen... Oh, go ahead.
Which threats can
Ebner deal with currently?
Okay, so, Ebner, not Tempos deal with. This isn't like, hey, God, deal with one of these things for me.
No, it's what threats can I deal with for you? And one thing that he's afraid of happening is he's seen what a necromancer can do in Meadstead, and he's seen how quickly a necromancer can literally just wipe a town and raise a whole army. What he's asking is he's afraid that he doesn't believe, Ebner doesn't believe that anybody's going to care. No one's going to help out. We're not going to be able to unite the humans, and the elves won't care until it's on their doorstep. So Ebner is pretty much asking, like, can I raise undead of evil people like this necromancer, or evil people in any sense, to help eventually deal with this Stromheim issue of undead taking over the world of Arcadia?
So the answer you get is not so much a direct conversation. It's more of an image in your mind where there is sort of like a blanket of darkness, or a sea of darkness, punctuated by a few dim lights. And you can identify yourself as one of these dim lights in this sea of darkness out there. And that is your deity's response to your question of, what can I do? How can I help people? Should I be able to use this ability and whatnot? And you get this notion. It's maybe not the direct answer that you were looking for.
I guess the way that I would interpret it, and maybe it's the way that Ebner just wants to interpret it is that he's like maybe being given the go-ahead, like, hey, you're one of my few clerics and you were literally there to combat the darkness, so whatever you think's right, I mean, you can do it. I think that's the way Ebner would maybe interpret it.
Yeah. You look upon this omen as one of a blessing of your actions.
Okay.
Okay.
Ebner will then begin to, I guess, through the days or on the ship and stuff while we sail, he'll begin to read the skeleton book and the diary of the necromancer to figure out how to. He innately can cast the spell Raise Dead, but I guess he wants to learn more about it.
Yeah, the way that the necromancers
Is different.
You didn't keep his notebook, right? You just have the book on skeletons?
I have the diary book and the skeleton book.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't keep the notes, so no. He
Right.
has the notes with the other ones.
Okay,
Wait, no,
so
you did keep the notes.
Did I keep the notes? No, I kept
Yeah.
the diary. I gave him the notes.
Oh, yeah, the diary book is what I have. Sorry.
Okay, right. So you got the diary and the book on skeletons.
Correct.
So when the book on skeletons is talking about the way to raise dead, the way that they describe magic is something really unrelatable to you.
Okay.
Your sources of magic come from Tempos himself. He literally
Got it.
reaches down, imbues you with power. You feel it within you as this like charge that you have that you can release at some point. And the way that this necromancer is talking about magic
It's completely
is more
foreign
of
to me.
this like is less of a granted ability that you hold and more of like I am ripping out a section of my own life and I'm giving up my own life to create this skeleton, and it feels weird. It feels
it's like a-
very different.
yeah. So as
Yeah.
I'm reading this, I feel like this is a bastardization of like what my god would want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. This guy is literally like he creates the undead by sacrificing parts of his life.
Okay,
And you
I,
can gain from context of the notes that he then regains parts of his life by draining it from his subjects or the people that he's subjugated. So he will like steal years of life from other people and then spend it to raise their family as minions of his.
I will on the boat or whatever, I'll bless these spell book or these books of unholy magic or whatever, and give them back to the bard, and say, you can trade these later. This isn't what I need, but maybe if you're having a weight issue, I blessed them, so maybe I could hold on to them for you.
That's fun.
Okay, I hand them back.
Bless them so they weigh less.
Well, it's more about
halflings
my
always
deity
struggling
being
with
pissed
their
off at me.
weight issue.
Well, no, you see, you no longer have the emotional weight that those carry because you blessed them.
Okay. It has been 2 days of travel, although it's been rough travel, so I don't think anyone gains HP from those days of travel. But then you spent another 2 nights here in Keldarem, so everyone gains 2 HP and can get their spell slots back and everything. 1.
I mean, I was kind of already at full.
This one. Yeah, I think Ebner's down 9 HP, though.
Oh, am I?
No, we cast
we're all full.
spells.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
And
I was
like
looking
we
at
were
your
all
tokens.
with maybe
sorry.
at within like 1 or 2, and because of all the downtime we had in HighCastle and Confluence,
Sorry, I thought I was at full, so I didn't cast
I
any
was just like,
healing spells on me.
eh.
I'm gonna change my spells though before we head out.
Okay. Okay. It will be a 2-day voyage by sea to get from where you are to Stout End. It's a quick and easy jaunt for you, I suppose. The weather is pleasant the whole way. You wait until the tides shift and start flowing into the canal, and then you ride those tides, and your boatman will trim the sails and ask you guys to heave into the oars and push yourself down the canal for 5 or 6 hours, and then he moors you to a rock with a very long, thick rope as the tide begins to retreat, and the whole boat and everything gets pulled with the tide, and the rock and the rope become taut. and the water level begins to dip and dip and dip and dip very quickly. And then the tide rolls back in after another 6 hours. So somewhere in the middle of the night, you guys are awoken as he hangs a lantern from the front of the ship, and you guys push in down the canal. Repeat process the next day, and you will arrive at Stout End during the middle of the rising tide. And you can tie up to
didn't
the
we want to
docks
stop
there.
at Kneecap first?
Oh. Did you want to
Because
stop
we
at
needed
Kneecap?
to. Yeah, we need to talk with them.
Yeah, we need to get there. Okay, to
Yeah, same. All right, you
keep
arrive at
going.
Kneecap, just on the other side. So you arrive there a little bit in the middle of the rising tide. There's a dock. There are a couple of boats pulled up onto it, and there are a boatload of archers hanging out on the stairs above the dock, and a couple of heavily armored soldiers down at the base. They don't necessarily look like the greatest soldiers, but they've got some good armor and shields, and they're huddled together. They look like scaredy cats. But they've got thick, like, plate mail with chain underneath, and these big aspis shields that are overlapping, with just a shit ton of archers above them. So you can arrive on the docks. And what do you want to do?
I'm gonna go speak with Grace.
Okay. The guardsmen down on the docks look at you very carefully as you guys get off. They see your weapons. They see that you're a dwarf. And the first guard says, "What do you want, dwarf?"
I'm here for Grace. I've been through this town many a times, actually.
Grace, huh? You know her?
Do I know this? Have I seen this guard before?
No, you've never seen this guy
Okay.
before.
Yeah, she's the sheriff of this town.
He asks you a few details about her, like what she looks like, some of those things.
Yeah.
Give me a charisma check to recall any of these details to show that you actually know who she is and you're not just using a name.
I would also like to say that I spent frequent amounts of time in this town, and I healed a lot of people, and I literally moved an entire group from Stromscale Lake, so I'll recant that.
Yes, that detail will do it for you. He goes, "Oh, yeah, there was a dwarf that brought a bunch of refugees over."
Yeah.
That was you, huh?
That's me, Cleric Tempos Ebner.
Where'd the
is
refugees
name.
come from?
Stromscale Lake, around there, near Stromheim.
All right, come on in. They wave you in. Well done.
Fucking
You guys
humans.
can... Fucking humans, the worst of the people. You can head up to Kneecap and you can find Grace is there. She is near the front of the walls, chatting with the guardsmen, looking out over the flatlands.
Grace.
I give her a wink.
Monsieur Ebner, hello.
How have you been?
Ooh, been all right. And you?
Doing mighty fine. How have the refugees been? They all keeping busy, helping you out in the town at all, or?
They've adapted well.
That's good. That's good. Well, since I'm here, I have quite a bit of a request.
Yes.
I'm gonna be boating some people over, and I wanted to know if I could boat them over, and then we'll just be on our merry way up into Meadstead, if you know where that is. I
You're
cleared
boating
out
people over? What does
Correct.
that mean?
I'm gonna be putting people on a boat and driving them over.
That's it?
We're all with. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, boating about 200 people over. I'll glance over that real quick, and then we'll be on our way over to Meadstead. I
Well,
recently,
best of luck to your people.
and you're fine and dandy with me coming over.
As long as you're not bringing another 200 people into this town, we can't hold that many. That
Nope.
first group of refugees is one thing. 200 is far more than we can handle.
In and out, Grace, in and out. They might
Well-
be here on the docks a day while we boat the rest of them over. You know, it takes time.
Of course.
If we could, if you got another boat maybe, or somebody who does, I pull out my platinum ring with the garnet.
Mm-hmm.
It could be worth that sailor or your wild for helping us out to make it as quick as possible.
Certainly. Ask one of the guys down on the docks for something like that, I'm sure they would be happy to help.
All right. I give her a wink and a nod.
Mm-hmm. She gives you a friendly pat on the head.
Friends and shit.
Chives takes a chuckle at this interaction and walks out.
I am not offended. I get it. And I go to the docks.
Yeah. If your height doesn't begin with 6, she's not interested.
That's fair.
On the way down to the docks, I want to stop Ebner and go, well, Ebner, if you're looking to pay for a boat for a day, I think they usually do it for about 1 gold apiece. How about I trade you some gold and maybe we can get a couple boats and I'll just take that ring off your hands and I'll offer him 15 gold for his ring. Should be 15 boats worth.
Ebner muses at this.
Ebner, before we go, I'd like to get the armor this time.
Yeah.
Especially if we're going to be walking the way up there.
Maybe we could sell this ring for a better price too for the whole party.
Well,
You
I
know?
think so, but instead of dealing with selling it now, I'll just hold on to it. You just hold on to this 15 gold. I think it'll do us both
No,
well.
now calm down there, Travis. You're moving a little quickly now. I'm willing. I know you got spell components. I helped you out. I blessed a few of them. I'm
Look,
willing
we're just
to
trying
share.
to pay you back here. All right,
I'm
that's
willing to
fine.
share. Okay.
I just think it's awful waste to give those people the ring. Just
I
a
agree.
waste.
Thank you.
All right.
That's a good idea. Your ship knowledge is truly accepted.
The magic
We'll go
of
up to
Google
the.
Docs.
We'll go up to the guy who I gave a fuckload of wine to, and we're gonna get our thing that's been like 3 months in the waiting.
Oh, yes, the armor that you had, that studded leather, all that jazz, go ahead and add it. It's all ready for
Perfect.
you. The
Nice.
armor smith, the leather worker, is like, I thought you guys were dead. Been looking
No,
for
no.
another person to sell this to. Thank
No.
God you showed up before I finally got rid of it.
Is there a jeweler in town?
Not anymore. He, killed in his sleep about 3 months ago. All of his shit stolen.
Damn.
Yep.
Well, then maybe you'd be interested in this.
And I show him the purple or the platinum ring with garnet.
You're a metal worker.
that is a beautiful sight to behold.
What do you think you're gonna give me for it?
I don't think I could sell it to anyone.
All right. What do you think I could fetch for it in a reasonable town on a reasonable person? You got any idea?
Reasonable town, reasonable person. Well, it's platinum, right? And it's got a garnet? I don't know. 50 gold, 100 gold, somewhere in that ballpark. 20 gold.
I'll see if I can
I
go
don't know if there's
sell it.
any reasonable towns left for reasonable people.
There are.
Well, I haven't seen them.
You ever been to HighCastle?
Nope. Never once. Not in all my years. Be honest, I ain't ever been more than 20 miles from this town.
Well, glad that you like it here that much. Stay. All right. Got our shit. We'll be going.
You guys,
Could we also get Vaughn's stuff resized for Valerio?
For Valeria,
Like,
yeah, what was Vaughn getting?
I have what Vaughn had.
yeah.
And
Oh,
it's
chain
basically
shirt.
like, no, Joka had the chain shirt.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then we determined that just having studded leather was the same as having a chain shirt
Right.
Right.
with leather limbs.
Right.
So basically, I'm wearing Vaughn's stuff, which was too big for me because he was like 6'3",
Yeah.
but Valerio's 5'11".
Mm-hmm.
So we want to get it
So-
resized.
Yeah, resized.
Sure. I think that is a reasonable thing to be done. What was the exact gear again?
Studded leather.
Studded leather.
And-
Studded leather.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember anything
Yeah,
else.
it can be hemmed down, trimmed down. What do you call it when you taken it? It can be taken in. That'll probably take They'll measure you, and it'll take a day to trim it down to your size.
Okay.
Not even
We're
a
moving
day.
people, so we'll be fine.
Nice.
No.
All right.
Okay.
Good deal.
The next day,
can I
you
sell
guys,
him-
Okay.
I'm sorry. Can I sell him back the leather armor that I'm currently wearing, just to, like, I don't know
think
what to
that'd
do
go
with my
better
leather
for it.
armor if I'm gonna.
He'll
Yeah.
buy it for you pretty cheaply.
Okay.
It's worn, it's stinky, it's got your sweat all over it. He's gonna have to sell it to somebody who doesn't mind the
That's
stench
fine.
of.
Maybe just do it for the price of the resizing.
Yeah, that sounds fair. That'll be a nice trade.
That might make
Give
it
him-
simple. Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Yeah,
Don't even have to deal with money now.
good deal.
I'm gonna go up to Grace again real quick. I'll make this quick, Quavo.
Were there any hangings recently?
Yeah.
Well, what'd he do?
Murder.
It's the talk of the town. Interesting.
What's the talk of the town?
The hangings. It's all people talk about. There's nothing else to do.
Yeah, we got a guy. He there was a fight over some bread. The baker got shanked. Now he's dead.
Where do you put him?
The hanged man?
Yeah.
Buried him in a grave near the church.
Hoping they said they tossed him over the side.
I thought you just throw him out.
No. I'm not going to lose my civility here. If we lose our humanity, what's the point of winning of war? What's the point of survival if we lose who we are? You know?
How long? That's true. Well, how long ago did you guys hang him?
About a week.
Wow. Sad that I missed that. Would have been a sight to behold. Never seen one before, hanging.
You've killed men, though.
Yeah.
Can't be much different. A
Bad
little
men.
more swaying.
I
A little
guess.
less shouting. We went quietly. Neck broke on the first drop.
That's good. Fucking evildoers. Hate them. And Ebner will leave after that interaction and go to find Jeb.
You find Jeb.
Jeb, come with me to the temple or the church.
Okay, what are we doing?
It's gonna be real weird, but I just need you for a minute. Okay, gotta test something.
Okay.
As we get to the church, I will instruct him.
Can you find me a fairly new grave, maybe a week old? I know you're good at tracking.
I mean, you weren't kidding when you said this was gonna be weird.
We're doing this at night.
Evidently, I'm a little uncomfortable with this.
Listen,
I can, and I'll explain. I'll explain him my whole line of thinking that I've talked about before. I just don't want to do it again.
Right.
I think we have talked about this in private enough that you know like what I'm thinking about. So that's what I explained to your character. And Ebner explains that he talked to his god, Tempos, and he thinks that he's okay with doing this, but he wants to test it. And as soon as he does it and it comes alive or whatever, he's going to immediately turn it and send it back.
Well, if you're sure you can do that, I don't like it, but
I'm only doing evil people, only murderers, thieves, and the sort.
You don't discuss this with Chives or Valeria, I'm guessing, before you go about your plans?
No, you guys are new.
All right,
Sure.
didn't think so.
Yeah, that makes
Can't
sense.
be trusted.
well, I guess if Tempos is fine with this, that's one thing. But just be careful, Edna.
I know. It's not as dark magic as I think people in the chat room seem to think it is. I think there's a moral gray in Koibu's world, and I think Koibu's got it. But we're about to find out. So
Well, as gray as it may be, just don't let it consume you.
I won't.
And
I make
yeah,
an
I'll
oath
go
on
find-
Tempos that it's only for evil people. I will never raise someone who hasn't committed a crime, murder, or an act against Tempos. A blood oath, as they say.
Okay.
Ebner will cut himself with his dagger.
Well, you did predict a storm today.
True.
And it is that time where you're here at night meeting with the ranger, asking about a fresh grave as the storm begins to roll in.
Yeah, and I guess right as it's starting up, I'll start looking for stuff. See where
Yeah,
the
you
dirt
can find
is.
a fresher grave. It's got that still like slight mound because the ground hasn't sunk down to level yet. There's a headstone that's been chiseled out fairly roughly. It says, "Here lies a murderer."
Okay. I mean, I assume Ebner reads that.
Mm-hmm.
Here
What were you
lies.
gonna say about the chiseling?
Yeah. He reads and is like, well, this looks fresh. I'd say probably about 5 to 10 days or so.
All right. Ebner will look around, and I'll shine my light stone. Does anybody around?
I mean,
it's just the two of you in this graveyard.
Okay. And Ebner will.
You keep flashing that light stone. I think everyone will see us.
He puts it down, and he pulls out his darkness stone. Well, I tell Jeb, it's about to get real dark. Hold on. Pull out my darkness stone, and Ebner like reaches his hand in the grave and waits till he touches the body. And
I mean, you have to dig up the grave first.
Oh well, it's super loose dirt. No, can I just do it with my hand?
It's been a week. It's still gonna get packed down.
Yeah, and it's 6 feet deep.
Okay. Well, it's time
6 feet under.
Time to start digging with the darkness stone with his shovel.
All right, so you have your darkness stone out, which makes the area dark. You can't see anything.
Correct.
And so you dig in the darkness.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay.
Ebner, I'm gonna step outside this dark area you've got.
Yeah,
I don't like it in here.
I'll let him step out.
All right.
I'll just like stumble my way out until I can kind of see.
Yeah, you find your way out. It's maybe it's a waning.
It's stormy.
Gibbous. It's stormy. It's dark. You're outside of the light. You can see other lights in town, in people's houses, flickering firelight on and just about
Considering
every
there's nothing
house.
really brighter than firelight, I'm pretty sure it is incredibly dark.
Yes.
Ebner is saying, when he's in church school, preschool, he, I'm sure, learned rhymes of tempos and stuff. So the whole time as he's digging, he's saying his rhymes, and he's not even questioning himself. He's pretty sure what he saw, and he's pretty sure what he knows. So he's just gonna do his best.
Okay. So you're there being like, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee, blessed art thou amongst women, blessed art the fruit of the...
The whole time.
Okay.
Whole time.
A little while later, your shovel hits something firm, like a pine box. And you dig around it and find a coffin. In the dark.
Ebner will fumble and try to open it.
That you have a crowbar or something?
No.
He's got a shovel.
You got a shovel.
All right, you'll have to pull the coffin out of the grave in order to get an angle on it with your shovel.
Can I just smack the coffin?
Yeah.
Well,
you want to break it open?
no, you're right. I should do this. Well, it's a fucking murder, Koivu. Yeah, I break it open. Wait, no,
All right.
I do it right. I pull it out.
All right.
Do
With
it
a
right.
little bit of effort, you find a way to, you tilt it up on one end, then scramble up on top and like heave and hoe it up. You've got a lot of strength, right? What's your strength score?
Sorry, one sec. 14.
Yeah, that's more than enough to single-handedly get a coffin out if you're not in any pressure or time. It might be stormy out, but it hasn't started to rain yet. You can hear the thunder in the distance.
Okay.
You drag the coffin out, all still in darkness. It's taken maybe twice as long as it would if you had any amount of light whatsoever, but that's fine. We're not here for the time pressure.
I'm definitely like sitting out there hearing all this shit. I'm just like,
I'm going to open it, and obviously it's magical darkness. I'm going to, one last time, say, Tempos, if this is against your will, I need you to stop me now. If not, I assume that I am the light in the darkness, as we are in literally right now, and I am meant to do anything and to take desperate measures to end this greater undead threat.
Well, as the point of light in a sea of darkness, you have shrouded yourself in magical darkness in order to perform this feat. I don't know if that is intentional symbology that you're creating here.
I was trying for the intentional symbology and the thing of, not being seen. But
right. All right. Well, with your shovel, you can force it in there and twist it, and with a little effort, pry open this wooden box, and then reach inside and feel the body. The first thing you feel is some sort of maggot crawling across the dead person's face. You can brush it aside and feel the shape of the head, the hair, the flesh rotting away.
With my blood, because I did swear a blood oath that I will only raise villains or like murderous people and what I would consider evil.
Yeah.
I do a drop of blood. I use this piece of flesh and I cast Animate Dead.
You
Take him
cast Animate Dead.
Take him to a break, Koibo. Don't let him.
It loses the effect if you tell him to do it.
That's true. Never mind. We're good.
All right. You cast Animate Dead. Meanwhile, Jebediah, you're hanging out near the grave, but not participating in the activity yourself, right?
I ain't having any part of this. Like, of this part, I'm just like, I'm uncomfortable. There have been several times where I probably like turned around to march back in there to stop him, but then it's also like, gotta trust him on this.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's a cleric, right? He knows what he's doing.
He said his god was cool with it. I have no way of telling that other than what he says.
Right.
And he hasn't.
Yeah.
He hasn't lied to me before that I know of. I know he has.
Ebner would never.
But I think Jeb is very certain that. I mean, I saw what this shit we've had to deal with. Those undead were powerful. Like, sometimes, like, if we could have one of those guys take a hit instead of fucking.
Instead of losing our own allies,
Yeah.
They'd probably still be here with us.
Yeah. This could have saved the lives of people you cared deeply about. Friends.
I don't like it, but who knows?
Sometimes you got to choose between the lesser of two evils. Meanwhile, in their comfy, warm inn, what are Chives and Valerio up to?
We're back to gambling. We're in a new town and new people. We left our old problems in our old city.
Oh yeah.
What's happening in your tavern?
I guess this is probably a lot more low-key tavern than the last place. We're gonna keep this in a reasonable lost place. I think it's raining. It's pretty nice in here, I'd guess, right?
Yeah, it's kind of stormy outside, but inside the tavern, the people of this depressed area are trying to find some light and some happiness. There's a musician who's playing. Some people are dancing. There's a little bit of drinking going on. The food is meager and poorly spiced. So people, try and drink to not have to taste it. It's like being British in the 1100s.
Perfect. This is exactly what Chives needs to be. This is exactly his kind of tavern.
So it's like being British.
Yeah.
Before they invaded the entire world and brought back all of their food and spices, and then somehow fucked it up, so it was still bland.
That's a true. That's just a true right there.
Except for tikka masala. They did chicken tikka masala well. Good job, immigrants to Britain.
Well, that's still immigrants to Britain, not.
Yeah, not the actual British themselves. It's true. Yeah.
I don't know if Valerio is a gambler or not. I'm not sure if that falls within his law and order or not.
No, Valerio's just doing what he usually does in taverns lately, which is kind of keeping to himself, sulking in the corner. And in this case, I think he's lost in his own thought, probably half attempting to commune with Velmontarius and half sort of talking in his own mind about whether or not the actions that he's taken over the past few days have sort of maybe put him on the path to maybe redeeming himself. He's been trying to heal people. He's been trying to. I mean, he let loose some people that were imprisoned by a necromancer and all of these things, and he's just sort of hoping that, he's at least done a few things right so far to sort of maybe getting back on the right track, but he's not really sure. He's got a lot of doubts, so he's mulling all of these things over in his head. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Back to the graveyard.
Don't have any good people to gamble against? Is anyone good here?
No, there's no one here with any amount of money.
No.
Everyone here is pretty broke. When they are gambling with food. So someone's putting forth like, here's my turnip. That's what I'm betting this round. And someone's like, well, I'll raise you a potato. And someone else is like, here is a cup of flour,
Cup of
I retract my statement about this being Chives' tavern. He's also in the corner brooding.
It's too poor.
It's too poor.
Don't have much. All right.
Yep.
Back in the graveyard. You cast your spell. Then the corpse begins to move. It's a little shaky, a little awkward, but the zombie raises from its coffin.
I would have, I can hear it going. So what I'm going to do is put away my darkness, or I'm going to command it to lie down back in its grave.
In the grave?
Yeah. Well, I want it to lie down back in its grave. It does?
Now, in the coffin or in the grave?
In the coffin, sorry.
Okay, yeah. It will lay down in the coffin.
I put away my darkness spell, or my darkness stone, and I cast Turn Undead.
I suppose it is turned automatically. It's your undead.
Yep.
You do not need to contest it. It then strives to walk away from you.
No, it kills it. I think it kills it automatically.
Oh, you auto-kill zombies?
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to do, is to automatically kill it. I think it's my undead, so I should be able to automatically kill it.
That's probably accurate. I think you can...
Sorry, I wasn't trying to make it walk away.
Right. Let's just take a quick look at the turn on the table. D is destroy. You're a 6th level priest?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you
It's just automatically
turn
turn.
zombies.
Yeah.
Destroy him next level.
Next level, you destroy it.
Yep.
I should be able to kill my own creature, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, you can kill it if you
Yeah,
want.
something else
You're going to have
via
to use violence to destroy this
physical
thing.
moves.
Really? You don't think you
Yeah.
can just... I made it.
You did.
The magic cannot be dispelled. The undead remains animated until they are destroyed in combat or are turned.
Yeah. So it is animated, and you turn it, and it flees from you.
Into the ground?
Are you surprised that your creation of undead is maybe not quite working out the way that you had hoped? It's maybe not as easily
what's it doing?
removed?
Ebner is just going to attack it as quickly as he can, as he sees it's not listening.
Yes, you can attack it. It is not resisting you. You bring your spear to bear against its back. Make me an attack roll. You should be able to hit it without any problem, but let's just see it happen.
It's not listening by being alive, by being dying. By
22.
By not dying.
Easy crit on this creature. Actually, roll me another 4d4 because you double crit it. You
You should have gotten
crit.
another one from Thaco.
What's that go?
You should have gotten another one.
Your
to
attack
hit.
bonus. as you
19
level up.
damage.
19 damage drops the zombie. The spear plunges through its back, snaps its spine, rips out the front end of it, and the creature collapses to its knees and then to its face.
I am
Dead.
gonna.
I'd probably run over at this point. Edna, what happened? What happened?
Ebner, short of breath, with his newfound power that he's not entirely sure about. This is why I wanted to test it.
It's a really good thing you tested it, yeah.
I tried to turn it and make it automatically die, but I'm not strong enough to do that yet. So every time, if I make him, I gotta kill him with my own hand.
help me drag this back and put it away.
I look at it. All right. You know it's going to be real hard to hide a recently dug up grave, right?
Well, I assume nobody's going to ask any questions about a murderous man in a grave. Just re-put it and we just leave.
All right.
When we put him in the coffin and put it back in the ground, Ebner's just gonna pull out his stone of darkness and start shoving it back in and like shoveling.
You shovel it deep into the grave. You tamp it down as best as you can. There's only one problem before you, Ebner, and that is you are covered in grave soil because you're digging around in this thing in the dark and pitch black. So you are covered head to foot in dirt. How are you going to? What are you going to do so people don't notice that you are a
raining
dirty
a fuckload,
dwarf?
right?
Not yet. The thunder's in the distance, rolling towards you.
I thought you said
Mentioned
it was
it.
raining.
No, I said it's not raining yet. The storm is approaching.
Well, I mean,
Jeb,
I look at Jeb.
There's a river.
I look at his body. Is there a bunch of
fairly-
grave stuff?
No, he's fairly clean. He let you dig it up himself.
Jeb, I digged all this. There's a lot of dirt on me and stuff. I'm just gonna wait it out here in the darkness until the storm comes, and I'm gonna have it.
It's going to have to be a pretty heavy storm to get you completely clean.
I'm not planning on it being completely clean. I'm planning on having there be a muddy pile and I fell into it or something, you know?
I understand. We can wait here.
Okay.
Why are we out
Wait in
here?
our darkness
Why are we
For
out
what?
for rain.
All night?
As long as it takes, Quibba.
Okay. You wait till the sun rises. The rain doesn't come. There is
I'd say
distant thunder.
Probably the
rolling
moment I can
clouds.
see the sun starting to get that kind of like grayish color. Like, all right, we don't have a lot of time before people start waking up. I think now is our best opportunity to get back to the inn and get you in a bath.
How about we run? It's a little weird, okay? You're gonna have to hear me out on this. It's been a weird night. How about we run in magical darkness in the water, and then I can clean up that way.
There is no water around here except down in the canal.
That's what I meant. Down in the canal where the boats are.
Remember how many guards there were there? There's probably someone on watch.
All right,
Didn't
let's
notice
just
it. Just gotta get
yeah.
back to the inn.
Ebner's starting to panic. Starts listening to Jeb.
Okay. What is the plan?
Go to the inn. Clean up.
Yeah, like as soon as like you can start to see like, oh shit, like it's kind of a little bit lighter over there.
Mm-hmm.
Get back to the inn, get him in a bath.
All right. You can get to the inn. You have to wake the innkeeper to get the bath. No?
We're not gonna do this like a good old fancy bath. I'm gonna do it myself. Like it's
All
gonna
right.
be cold water. It's
He's gonna lick
be
me.
So you take a bucket and go find a fountain or a well in town and get yourself a bucket of cold water. Go back to the inn room and sponge off Ebner.
Yeah.
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 And
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah, it's real unfortunate work that.
Yep, that's an unfortunate one. Yep.
Life. Sponge bath me.
Edna, I'm gonna say though, if Grace comes asking you questions,
I'm a dumb dwarf who digs.
I don't think
It's gonna
that's
make
gonna
for a
be good
great
enough.
recap.
Remember the questions you asked her.
Yeah, that's true.
I think honesty is going to be your best option in this one. Sometimes the truth is a little hard to believe, but
Well.
don't offer up any information you aren't asked for.
Will do. Thank you, Jeb. You're mighty smart.
I've just been alive for a couple years.
We just hope no one notices. It's a murderous man, anyways. No one's checking in on them.
Yeah, and I don't blame him for this, but you went digging up a grave. I'm saying that Like we're already like kind of whispering, but that one is just like, oh, you kind of dug up a grave.
Well,
People don't look too kindly on that, especially considering what we fought. That bone spear you carrying around, all that other stuff. It's
yeah,
people won't see it as you doing what it takes. They'll more see it as you going crazy.
maybe. They didn't see what we saw, though. They didn't see our friends killed.
I don't think many people have seen what we saw.
You think what I'm doing's right, though, right? You think it's,
I think
maybe needed.
I think what you're doing is desperate.
Well, desperate times come for desperate measures.
That may be true, but I think we've gone past the whole right and wrong.
We'll see. Tempos gave me the power to do it, so I must be doing something right. He wouldn't let me do it if I was on the wrong path. Everything
Maybe.
I do is every spell I grant is through him, and he lets me do it. So
Maybe.
we'll see.
Or maybe he's just offering you up abilities and then doesn't care what you do with them until he does.
I don't think that's how it works. I think every time his light touch, you don't know how it feels. Every time I cast something, his light touches me.
I don't know how it feels.
Ebner
Just my humble opinion.
Ebner will do some what's it called when you like think like to yourself, like you
Meditating?
not meditating, I don't know. Ebner will think to himself and
Ruminate.
ruminate, try to find the answer. I'm trying to find the answer. Do self-reflection. Did I feel tempos? Do I usually feel tempos when I cast spells at all? Do I feel some warmth in me? Did I feel tempos and warmth like normal spell casting when I cast the Animate Dead?
It's hard to tell because you're in like this darkness and you're down in this grave and it's cold outside and the storm is coming and the wind is blowing. All of these things sort of would already serve to sort of mask the warmth that you would already feel. The conditions under which the spell cast make it difficult to feel that. It's not like you're in a temple healing somebody. It's at night in the wind, underground, with a shovel in your hands. So you have internal warmth from your exercise and then external cold from the environment. I don't think you really felt
remember
much of anything. It was too much going on.
Well, he convinces himself. I know what I felt. I felt him still within me and felt his warmth. So what I did was fine, and I'll do it in the future when we need to. It might come in handy one day if we need to make an army against whoever is fucking with Stromheim. I don't know. But
are you just saying that to yourself or to
No,
me?
I'll say it to Jeb. As I said, I'm only doing murderers and people Tempos considers evil, so.
Well, if you are, raising an army is going to be pretty tough, because as many evildoers there are in the world, I think that they are in a minority.
That's true, but
and I don't know the power of that oath you swore, but
it's not about the power or the fear or anything like that. It's I will not raise someone who's good without murderous intent or their own permission. So
until we're in a pinch and you just need any dead body that's around, just keep that in mind, Ebner.
Won't do it. But thank you.
Are you ready to give up your life for that statement right there?
Yes.
That's okay, because that's what it's probably going to come down to someday.
I would rather give my life than disgrace Tempos.
Okay. Well, sounds reasonable enough.
Why don't we go to our last break, and when we come back, you guys will return to Latrine for the first time since the campaign has started. Gather your people forth and bring them to a new land where they can find peace and prosperity while guarded by undead corpses of evil men. we'll see you on the other side of a break. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to...
Like the smiley face you put next to anime dead.
Something to smile about.
It's time. You guys can head down from Kneecap, hop on your boat,
Wait,
sail to Stout End.
wait. We were gonna talk to the dock people about. I want to talk to the union here, the dock union, the shippers union, and see if we can talk to, like, maybe, I don't know, is there a guy who owns a few boats? I want to give him a big job and pay him with the platinum ring in order to pick up people in Stout End, and we're actually bringing them to HighCastle.
You want to change your plan? Go straight to HighCastle?
Straight to HighCastle
like,
with the ships.
Hire enough boats so we can get 200 people to HighCastle.
Alright.
Good old salt of the earth people. They can help us out.
You discuss it with your guy, whose name I've already forgotten.
I have his name.
Amarichi. You discuss with him and a couple of the other people down there, and you find a way where you could do everyone in one load, but it's gonna be tight. Like,
It's fine, we can toss some people.
Like, you're gonna have to... People are gonna basically just have to stack on stack on stack. They're gonna have to be standing room only. We're talking like,
No animals either,
cargo
right?
ship with a bunch of people shoved into like a big container in standing room only.
Yep.
So, like people trying to be smuggled into modern countries on container ships level of human trafficking.
If
But you can do it.
When we go to Latrine, I mean, I'm going to make it clear, like, hey, this is what we're going to do, and we're moving you to a new place. I'm not telling them where. I'm not telling them why. Well, I'm telling them that we're moving out of here. If you want to come, you can. If they don't want to come, they can stay. If they want to come, they got to hurry their shit up and pack light.
One thing, I'll mention this to Edmer. If anyone on the Stout End side asks where we're taking them to Tassel, I think that's something you should discuss with all of these people, is to say, taking them to Tassel, taking them to Tassel.
All right, that makes sense. We'll take them to Tassel.
But we actually take them to HighCastle.
Correct. We'll just say it was a mispronunciation. Tassel, HighCastle. They misunderstood me.
All right, you sail to Stout End. It is a short journey.
I let them know. We'll be back in 2 days' time, 3 days' time.
Yeah. Your friend, Amarichi, will help you up the steps in Stout End, get you past the guards, letting them know you're merchants, you're here to pick up some supplies. He goes out of his way to mention that you're not taking people. You're just traders who are trading with the great Dwarven Empire that is burgeoning, which will be, a boon for everyone involved. They're quite happy to let you come into Stout End to do these deeds.
I pull Amarichi aside and ask him,
How are we gonna bring these people through the town to the boats? In a way? You made it very clear.
We're doing it in one trip, right?
Yeah.
Whole bunch of people show up in Stout End, come down the stairs. By the time people are really aware of what's going on, it'll be too late.
All right.
Just do it quickly, quietly. Don't draw any attention. No fake stories, nothing. Just put your head down, walk through town. Yep.
All right.
we head over to Latrine, if that's cool with the party.
I like that. Just pretend like you know where you're going.
It is going to be a 2-day journey to Latrine. Although you do have your mount spell. Yeah, you can do it in 1 day if you mount.
So yesterday I needed to burn all my spells or my magic missiles, but we can do it.
Okay.
You can cast them at rocks.
You mount up and head to Latrine. The storm still overhead. No rain coming down. You arrive in your old village here in Latrine. Well, some of your old village here in Latrine. And you don't see any people. You see the same sort of like heavy militarized presence in Stout End, and you have to cross through a couple of other villages to get here, especially over a bridge, and each of these towns and villages are well armed. But when you come into Latrine, despite the smoke rising from chimneys, you don't initially see anybody.
we go searching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do some tracking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Would you like me to roll a?
No need. This is your hometown. You know the area well. You arrive in the center of town, where there is a knight with 8 guards who has rounded up the people. And I'm just gonna, there are people in here. I don't want to grab 1,000 million tokens and face them in different directions. This is just filled with folks in here. And the knight is standing before them. He has lined them up. So you've got the elderly down over here. You've got the children over here. And you have the fighting age men and women all sort of like gathered in this region right here.
There's 200 people in town, right? As I look, do I see is it like 60 or is it like a bunch of people?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. 50 by 40 is 200 square feet. These people aren't standing 5 feet apart. They're in close proximity. Close. They're like a packed thing. So I think you could fit 200 people in this space.
Okay, so it's like the whole town. And
mm-hmm. Everyone's gathered nice and close. And you can see that they are surrounded. Guards on all sides. No weapons drawn.
Does the knight have any... Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ask your questions.
Does the knight have any particular markings that would identify him as any...
Yeah. You recognize this knight. Well, you don't, but the other two recognize this knight right away as the liege lord of this town, the noble that's supposed to be in charge.
Okay.
The knight's name is Lady Newman.
Okay.
She is the... I don't think we picked out who your liege lord was before, but it's Lady Newman now. And she is standing before you all, before your people. And she's pulled out the fighting-aged folks, and she is walking up and down their ranks, looking at them, inspecting them, talking to them, as you guys arrive.
Do they see us or no?
Yeah, the 2 guards spot you. One of them will turn to face you and step forward and be like, "Who goes there?"
Ebner.
Oh, Ebner!
Campos.
How are you doing?
Better.
Lady Newman was wondering where you were. We've got a job for you.
Well, that's very nice, but I don't...
You will want to talk to Lady Newman about this one.
I will push past the guard with my compatriots. Not like push him, but like go past him and find a
guard gets out of your way. Lady Newman will see you guys approaching and turn to you with a smile and goes, Father Ebner, I'm so glad to see you've returned. We have received your shipments of cash, and they have been put forth as payment to Her Majesty Scoria the Great, ruler of our lands,
you mean
ally
Scoria
of
the
our
Damned.
king.
My eyes get big when he says that.
And your return is just in time. Please, tell these confused and mistaken people that it is their duty to serve their liege lord. It is their duty to arm themselves and join the ranks of our armed forces. For the planting has been done, summer is near to us now, and it is time to wage war against the pigs of Drekis. Tell them.
You're fighting for Scoria?
Of course.
Ebner spits on the ground.
Fuck
Now,
Scoria.
you don't mean that. She
Ebner
rules
will-
with our King Gilder. Together.
Ebner will take his foot and like push it on the spit and like roll it around. Yeah, rub it in.
Is this all happening in Mystrian, by the way?
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think the two of you
can't-
are kind of like,
I
what the
can't
fuck is
understand
going
any
on?
of this. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm looking Bleer and go, this doesn't look like this is any positive interaction.
It doesn't seem like this is going to plan.
I've definitely got like a hand near my quiver.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna take my people on a meaningless war and just go get them all killed?
Meaningless. The Drakissians are invading our lands. Do you not remember that? Do you not know our people that they have already slain? None of us want this war, but this is what we must do to defend our lands from the invaders.
Using my knowledge, is this true? Did they actually invade
they
us,
started
or-
the war. They started it.
What was it over?
They wanted your
Land,
territory.
money. Yeah.
The great kingdom of Eridon fell apart, and your Mystrians tried to loot Eridon, and the Drakissians tried to loot Eridon, and then the Drakissians were like, well, fuck this, let's just take Mystria too. And then you
basically it
guys
was they kind of forgot that Scoria existed.
Yeah.
And they're just like, let's go for it. And then she's like, all right, that's enough of that.
Yeah.
And then did as a dragon does.
Yeah.
I'll respond to her.
To be honest, Drakissians never fucked with me, but Scoria's caused me quite the headache. I don't follow no dragon. I don't follow you either.
She draws her sword.
Ebner casts light on her eyes.
I think it's initiative
Goes
time,
out.
boys and girls. All right, everybody grab your token, click your icon, and let's roll for initiative.
We were probably actually over here, weren't we?
You were probably all a little bit closer because you had to be in talking range of her, right?
That
We were in
that-
talking
well,
range, yeah.
Like where
Where
I
is
used
she?
my
Oh, she's
guy.
over there.
She's over here. God damn it.
Yeah, true.
Oh. God, I don't know.
Yeah, you
where
guys
would you be,
probably have to
Chives?
walk into this
Hiding
area.
behind my paladin friend.
Sure.
It probably actually would have been something like this. You guys approached from this angle, and she would have been walking in amongst these people, and then turned over here to face you guys.
Yeah,
It's
'cause I don't
probably
think we'd be
closer to
in people's
this.
range.
Yeah. These guards aren't going to let her out of her sight, so it'll be a situation like this is, I think, our battle map to start.
It's fair.
And did we all roll the initiatives?
No, I haven't clicked on my
not
button.
me.
yet.
Yeah.
No one rolled anything.
No one.
We all regretfully stared at our page.
Oof.
Joke is on her. We roll high still.
Hmm.
We're missing this one. 9. Oh, right. First one up is one of these guards. As the knight goes for her sword, the guards already tense and ready. They were already having to cow these civilians.
Sure.
Will immediately step forward as the knight goes to draw her sword, and as Ebner reaches for a component and begins to chant the words to a spell, the guard will step before his liege and make an attack against Ebner with his spear. He rolls a 15 to hit you, Ebner.
I don't think that hits, actually.
You have 1/6 AC.
No, I have 17.
Oh yeah, yeah.
His
it
spear
was 17.
sticks in your armor as another guard starts to push his way through the people. Get out of the way, he shouts as he pushes forward and makes another stab at you with a 10 to hit.
Yes,
No
sir.
dice. And the third guard is... Nope, the third one is the knight. She will step forward as well and bring her sword against you, saying, "Kneel before me!" Oh, she rolls a 7 to hit you. It's a wild swing that sails above your head. Valerio.
I draw my sword, put my shield up, and I go, Master Dwarf, what have you gotten us into? And I move to the guard on the left, I think, that I have here. And boy, this is a really tough decision to make. Because I have no idea what just happened here.
Nope, but they just started attacking your people.
They just started attacking me. All right, so not knowing what's going on and having every interest in defending my friends, I am going to. Does this guard next to? Do the guards? They have their weapons out.
Yep.
I'm assuming
Spears
at this point?
and shields.
Okay. Since we're initiative. Okay, cool. All right.
Yep.
I'm just going to go to the guard to my left, and I'm going to attack him with my arming sword. And I'm just going to make that arming sword attack.
Character left or camera left?
Character left. Yeah,
This
that
one.
guy. Yep.
This one. This one. Okay.
That dude right there. Yep.
Oh, shout out to
I'm gonna attack
Valerio.
Don't kill him. Just take him down. Like, just non-lethal.
Mm-hmm.
I get
Alright,
non-lethal, and I'm gonna ignore him.
I'm gonna make my attack.
5 is miss. You swing
that's
wildly
miss.
with your sword against the guard, brings his shield up, easily parrying it to the side. Next guard will shove his way through the people who are beginning to back up and scatter as the violence breaks out. Come over here and give a stab at the paladin.
There's a wall there.
Where's the wall that they walked through?
I mean, this is a whole wall, right? This whole thing.
I'm assuming
or no?
he can.
What wall?
I
We're on,
mean,
like the road.
we're on like this is the road. Is there no like gate here? Sorry, I'm trying to show you.
No.
Like
Oh,
this?
we
No,
don't have
this
it.
is-
We don't.
Oh,
This
it
is
looks
a
like a
dirt
gate.
road.
Okay.
This is,
My bad.
Yeah.
Ain't no bottlenecks here.
people probably don't even have a fence. Like, we're so poor.
That's fair.
All right.
There's
This
probably
one
holes
will
inside of people's houses' walls. You could probably walk
step
through
over
those.
and stab at the paladin with a 12 to hit.
No.
And then
No.
Jebediah's turn comes around.
All right, perfect. I'm this guy. I've got a clean shot on him. He's also conveniently close to Chives, who's
Mhm.
probably going to take one hit and go down. Be one hit wonder band. So yeah, I'm going to attack him. No.
11, the bow, the arrow sinks into the armor, doing nothing.
Yep.
Ebner, your turn comes around. You have taken no damage. Your spell is not interrupted. You cast light into the Knight's eyes.
Correct.
Okay, she gets a saving throw. Ooh, that's cocked. Try it again. And fails. She screams out as her eyes are overcome with brightness.
It only works on her, right? No one else. It's not like an AoE
Right.
or anything.
Correct.
Okay, great.
It's basically like, hey, put 2 flashlights on your eyes and shine them.
Right. Sure.
You're fucked.
Yeah.
This guard over here looks at the situation. There is the archer who's taken shots. There's the halfling who hasn't done anything yet, but is also like unarmored and sort of hanging out with them. He's got a weapon. He's like not really a threat, but that might be the best target for the guard to go after because he might not want to fight the person with absolutely no armor. He might not want to fight the dangerous people. So I'm going to roll a die to see which one of you guys the guard goes after. The threats or the non-threats? Ooh, he decides that it's best to take down this paladin here. So he'll step to this spot to make it awkward for other people to maneuver and fire. And stab at the paladin with a flanking attack, rolling a natural 1, slips in the mud of latrine and lands in a cow pie, spending the whole round like ducking out of incoming blows, bringing the shield to block before getting to his feet covered in cow shit. Our next guard will push through some people, trying to hop a fence over here. Most of that will be difficult terrain, so he'll come around the backside. He can go 120 feet. I think he can get to about here-ish, but not really have any other actions left over at the end of that movement.
Yeah.
Because he's got to hop the fence and push through.
Do those bushes hinder movement?
The bushes
or
on
just-
either side of you?
Yeah.
Yes, they will hinder movement. They are thick bushes.
Excellent.
And next up is this guy that's already here. He will stab at Ebner, who just blinded his knight, rolling a 17 to hit.
Hits.
Excellent. The spear finds purchase on one of your weak links in your armor that splits open before the point, shredding a small section of armor and doing 7 damage to you as the spear hits your chest. And our other guard will hurry to action, squeezing past his allies and everyone and having absolutely no movement no actions after he runs all the way over here. And then Chives comes.
Chives with the flat of his blade will non-lethally smack this guard in front of him.
Okay, -4 to hit if you're non-lethally attacking.
No, let's just 0 then.
All right.
It's non-lethal damage is -4.
You first, the character must use a weapon that enables him to control the damage he inflicts. This is impossible with an arrow of sling. It isn't even feasible with a war hammer or a mace. It can be done with swords and axes as long as the blade is turned so it doesn't cut. Second, the character has a -4 penalty to his attack roll since handling a weapon this way is clumsier than usual. The damage from such an attack is 50% normal. 1/2 of this damage is temporary. So you do half damage, and then half of that damage is temporary. So a quarter real, a quarter temporary, and the remaining half doesn't exist.
All right, cool.
Yes.
Good for future reference. Won't be doing that ever again.
Yep,
Good
fuck non-lethal.
Yo, Chad, you're level 4, right?
Yeah.
Shouldn't you have plus the THAC0 more than just 1? Because wouldn't Bard go with the Thief THAC0?
Yeah, level 3 you should get +1, level 4 you should get +2.
Ooh, do I get 2?
Total +2.
Total +2, yeah.
No, there you go.
And last guard will ignore the people, hop the fence, skedaddle over here, and I think that is enough to still make an attack against the chives. With a natural 20 on his first die roll, a modified 20 as well. No modified attack roll.
That is my AC, so...
That is your AC?
Yeah. What?
When you're not tumbling?
Yeah. I get 4 from Dex, I get 4 from Armor, and I get 2 from Fighting Style.
You have the Armor spell, right? Doesn't Armor spell give you 14 AC?
Yeah, it gives me a base 14, which adds my Dex, and then it adds my Fighting Style.
Oh, your Fighting Style. I forget about your Fighting Style. All right.
So 20.
Okay.
Wow. That'll hit.
Rolls a natural 20, surprised by the skill with which you dodge out of the way and knock blows aside, but still the spear hits you.
I hear a bunch of dice, you're down.
3 damage.
Oh my god.
Cool. As the spear pierces your calf. That is the last guard, and I believe it is initiative time.
No, it's second attack time.
Ooh, yes.
And I'd say because this dude spent like all his time getting up, I don't think there's any penalties for point blank. But since I'm 1, not his target, 2, he fucked up a lot. Like real fucked up.
He's in a cow pie, so you can still make your attack without any problem against him.
Boom.
22 will easily hit. Yeah.
He's got a shield. He's probably got armor. It doesn't clear by 10.
AC 17.
Oof. So yeah, no. Just regular damage.
Oof.
So it'd be this guy.
That guy. 8 damage, did you say?
Yep.
You drop the guard with an arrow through his throat as he gets up from his cow pie pasture.
Perfect.
Okay, everyone roll initiative.
Oops, sorry.
Ouch.
And you...
Still can't get below a 10 when I roll initiative. Doesn't matter what I do.
There we go. Okay, let's sort it.
You need color spray.
Rolled Ebner.
I've had any spell slots left, yeah. I've got the spell and everything. But mounting it up and then coming in here and immediately saying fuck you was not the best of my spells.
I thought you just didn't have it.
Oh, no. We have all solutions to this, just no ability.
Okay. The knight is blind. She has a penalty of 4 to hit. She's going to make a morale check because this was unexpected. She will pass, and she'll make her first attack against you, Ebner, with a penalty of 4 to hit. Try and roll it correctly. So 15 minus 4 is 11, plus 4 for level and 3 for mastery is plus 7 on top of 11 is an 18 to hit.
Is that right? 4 for level, 3 for mastery. 3 for mastery?
Yeah, she's a 5th level fighter with arming sword mastery. Yeah. All right. Her sword strikes home, dealing 2 and 3 is 5 damage to you. It's a narrow, glancing blow, sort of off of your shoulder armor and like across your cheek without really knowing what happens. But you give a cry, and she realizes she's hit you. This one down here will take a stab at you, Ebner, with an 8.
Nope.
And this one over here will attack Valerio with an 11.
No.
And it becomes Valerio's turn.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to. I'm going to continue to attack the one that I attacked before, which is this guy. And this time I'm going to. Is it possible? So if I attack with, if I do, because I have weapon and shield specialization, so I'm attacking with both my sword and the shield bash as if they were 2 weapons, right? So let's see. So I think my shield bash gets. Is it just a -1?
Yeah, it's already
penalty to hit?
configured into your character
Gotcha.
sheet.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, fantastic. So I'll just roll to attack with both of those. Okay. Whoa! I double clicked. Oh my
That's
god,
all right.
I'm so bad.
That's
I'm
fine.
so bad.
Well,
Sorry.
the 14 is a clatter against the guard's armor, doing nothing.
Yep.
And the
Okay,
shield
and
bash is
there's
a
the shield
19,
bash.
which hits. You slam
Okay.
your shield into a guard's face. It comes away bloodied. Roll me damage.
Nice. Let's see. There's your damage. 4.
And it was against this one?
Yes.
Yes, you
yes, the one
slam
right here.
your shield in this guy's face, and he stumbles backwards, landing
Nice.
on his butt, leaning against the wall, eyes blinking, in a total daze. His nose is broken. He's dropped his spear, and he's covering his face, trying to blink through the pain. He is at exactly 0 and is out of combat.
There it is, baby.
This guard over here with his spear will reach over the bush and try and stab the halfling because he's got a nice long pointy weapon. You can kind of step halfway into the bush and stab.
So you're saying he has a long spear?
I'm saying he's got a spear and he can move half into this bush and still make a stabby with it. Yeah.
Without any penalties?
Without any penalties. Holy shit, you're not even gonna believe me. You're not gonna believe me when I roll another natural 20 against you, but it
You're right, I don't
happens.
believe you.
But it happens.
It does. I guess it does
Well,
happen.
it was
It
like,
does
fuck this
happen.
bard. I don't want a bard in my campaign.
He
Yeah,
does
he's
another
already getting them out.
4 damage to you as the pushes your blade to the side and slashes across at your face with the tip of the spear, drawing a line from your like kind of the neck up to the cheek chives.
Well, seeing that I keep getting reached over, I'm just gonna smack this guy, I guess. I'm not very happy about it, but I don't have too much else to do. For a 19.
Easy hit. You're so short, you can come up and under his armor and skewer him in the leg. Nice long slash up his inner thigh for 1 point of damage. Ebna.
Ebner was doing an attack with his fucking awesome spear from the necromancer. I'm doing it against the knight. 14.
You get +4 because the knight can't see it coming. And 18.
So 18.
Let me see what the knight has in terms of armor. Let's see. She has 17 AC, so an 18 will hit her.
Good.
Nice.
Well, there's my damage. 9.
It is
Ultra
a
spear.
good blow. She's badly wounded by this. I'm sorry, her shield should provide 3 AC. It should be 18 AC, which you still hit. 2 for special, 2 for regular shield, and 1 for shield specialization. She's
Got it.
a weapon master. She's a good fighter.
That's fair.
But 18 still hits. Yeah.
I was thinking it's like a good shield. Like a,
No,
ooh,
no,
we
no,
need
no.
that.
Hopefully she feels the insane level of damage that spear just did, and she can't see it coming. So maybe, another morale check.
Are you using the magic spear?
Correct.
Oh, that was a lot of damage.
Yeah, you stab her with the bone spear. This guard is going to try and skewer you with his weapon. One last time, a 12 is no good.
Nope.
This is a dead guard, and the one directly in front of you will stab at you as well with a 9, and it becomes Jebediah's turn.
Excellent. This guy. One shot, one kill, boys.
Absolutely. He has
that
AC 17,
is-
so you clear by 9. You
So
can
close.
single crit.
It's fine.
Oh,
That's
you
fine.
not only hit him, but you
That's
knock
fine.
him backwards a square with the force of the blow. He lays out on the ground
let's
at -12, -10.
Fucked up.
guy.
Next, guardsman. This battle is beginning to turn. So this one is going to ignore the paladin and go for a back attack on the dwarf, trying to get at least one of these guys down with a 7 to hit.
Nope, 14 back.
And that's the dead guy. The knight gets her second attack at the end of the round. Still can't see you. -4 to hit. But what did we say? She has +7, -4, so total +3. Yeah. A 7. A total of 7 to slash at you.
Nope.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna shoot this guy right here. I think
Go
that's
for
like
it.
the last guy I have a good shot on.
You could probably shoot over my head at the other guy.
You critical the crap out of that one. Roll as many damage dice as you can.
Same damage.
Was it this one that you were shooting? I'm sorry.
Yeah, this one I think.
This one?
This guy right
For
there.
12, yep. The shot pierces his chest, sticks all the way out of him as he plops onto his butt in disbelief before slowly keeling over to the side.
Heal.
And
Initiative.
initiative.
They're just trying to fuck around with my little buddy. I wasn't gonna let him do that.
Yeah, Will. Yeah.
All right, Chives.
Also, it helps that I'm rolling with +8.
Yet to hit? Yeah, that helps a little bit. Chives, it is your turn.
Seeing that this is going our way, he's just gonna sit there and parry this entire round. That's all we're gonna
Okay.
do.
Ebner,
Abner's gonna attack the knight.
Roll the hit.
There's the attack. 16.
+4 is a 20. You will
Oh,
hit
yeah.
her.
There's the damage. 8.
8 damage. Ugh, God, she's going down slowly but surely. Valerio, holding the flank.
Right. Yep. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go one step. I'm gonna go one step here, and I'm going to face. Oh wait. Oh, this guard's dead. Oh my God. Okay. Well, I already cleared my step. Let's attack this guy right here,
Excellent.
and we're going to. I'm gonna do the same thing that I did before. So arming sword.
11
And-
clatters against the armor. Shield goes to the face, and he
Okay.
brings up his own shield. The two of you contest strength for a while. And
Nice.
that's when this guy, seeing his opportunity, steps up from behind you to attack you from the back where you don't get your shield bonus. He stabs with a 12 to hit. I still don't think that's going to hit.
No. Back is
Lucky,
14.
yeah, lucky opening that failed. Jebediah.
Yeah, I'll shoot this guy. Nope,
Boom!
fucking
Nope.
miss.
Fucking
Do
miss.
you, would you? Do I need
Yeah,
to roll
give
a
me
save?
give me a saving throw versus death.
Nope.
You shoot chives, roll me damage. I'm kidding.
Let's
Your
say 26.
let's see, 2. This is a bad thing, buddy. I think what is happening is in the swing of battle, Valerio with his shield bash and sword attacks ends up getting sort of like knocked in your direction, and his sword kind of accidentally swings too close to you, and your bow must make a saving throw or have its string sliced by an errant sword blade. I'm going to give you the
God
saving
damn it!
throw
If
for
you
your
do that to
spear.
me again, Neil, I already had to go through this once.
Ooh.
12.
The saving throw for...
It's a.
I don't
I rolled a
quite
12.
have a sinew. We'll call it... What would we do here? More like leather, I guess. Versus... None of these are cutting things. We'll call it a... Well, a 12 actually is better than anything except for bolt. What is bolt? I don't know what bolt is. Yeah, so you pass. It almost nicks your bow's string, but you manage to keep it out of the way. The guards go next as the knight shouts, "Defend me!" So this guard will withdraw and sort of back up over here. The knight will step back, provoking an attack of opportunity from Ebner.
From me? Alright, here is the... Hold on, I'm trying to fix my shit. Should be that. So there's the attack.
That will hit.
4 from the back, and 10 damage.
Ooh, so she steps away as you hit her and skewer her. This guard that was coming to defend her drops his shit, picks her up by the back of her arms. I guess she's still in this square. Grabs her and will drag her away, sort of like this, pulling her to the relative safety. The next 2 guards will disengage, withdraw, and back up over this way, creating like a defensive wall in front of their liege. And second shot from Joka. Not Joka, Jebediah.
Sweet. So I'm of the belief that we can't let any of them get away.
I agree.
So I run over here, shoot this guy.
Okay.
One dragging, right?
I'd say that they kind of form a wall, and it'd be really hard to shoot the dragging guy, since he's going to be probably low to the ground. So I'm just going to shoot one of the guys in front.
Excellent. You will hit him. AC 17, so you clear by a bunch, but not
only
10.
7, so I do not crit.
No crit.
Oops.
Just
4
the
damage.
first D6? Okay, 4.
Yeah, 4 damage.
All right.
Can I take the second or third?
Chives.
Oh, are we back at top of the order?
Oh, no, it should be initiative order. You're right.
We roll again? Yeah.
Yeah, we roll again.
There we go.
In his honor,
Ouch,
man.
that's my worst roll.
I'm telling you. Joke his honor. Never roll
Dude,
low.
Will, you're
Never roll low.
Yeah, never roll low for initiative.
13. Jebediah gets an 8. Wilbur gets an 18, but you're just you're chivesing, right?
I chives the last round, and I was gonna sling it this round. So
Okay.
I don't know how you want to deal with that.
No, that's fine. Then 18 is your initiative. Perfect. Okay. Ending. The guards will continue to fall back. Jebediah, it's your turn. The first guard's just waiting to fall back with his allies, so they fall in order.
Yeah, I'll attack the same guard again.
24
fucking
hits
roll.
home.
5
5
damage.
points of damage brings that guard down. Valerio.
Well, I'm going to turn to the only guard that's still here, and I'm just going to attempt to arming
He
sword
shouts
and
at you
shield
in a
bash.
language you don't understand.
What do you
What
say?
does he shout?
I'll tell you guys after he makes his decisions.
You know, given the current state of the battle right now, and given the current the fact that I didn't know what the hell was going on to begin with here, I think we're just gonna shield bash this guy this turn. Just the shield bash. That's
Okay.
it.
You
Nice.
shield bash the crap out of him.
Nice. Damage for nothing.
Minimal damage,
Yeah.
but it's enough to let him know that you are
Yeah.
not taking no for an answer here.
Try and
What do you say?
I surrender, please.
There you go.
After seeing that, I'll say, Valerio, he's surrendering.
Yeah, this guy will withdraw, keeping his shield and spear before him, trying to back away from the party and stay safe. And the other guards, well, this guy will continue to drag the knight away as she bleeds out a little bit. And this one will come back with them and attempt an intelligence check to stabilize. Natural 20, third natural
Nice.
20 of the day. The knight is stabilized.
Edna, if we let them go, they'll know.
Yeah, we gotta get him. Not kill him, but if we can,
They don't-
stop him.
There's
They
only
don't seem
one
to be
thing I can
interested
do
in
with
a
this
fight
bow.
anymore.
All right,
True.
Ebner, it's your turn.
So this guy is stabilizing. Can
Yes.
I get an attack of, I don't know, plus something? Because he's like messing with the wounds and shit?
Yeah, he'll be leaning over the knight as you come up. His ally will shout to him. You have a +4 because he's essentially like back to you and kneeling down.
There's my attack. So 19.
19 will hit.
Or
The
7.
guard is trying to save the knight's life as you drive your spear through his back. He pitches forward on top of the body, gurgling. Not dead though. Chives.
Oh man. Chives looks around. He just got hit a million times, and he just climbs up onto this roof right here and just looks around and see what else is going on. See if there's more people. What's happening?
The people of town have scattered maybe 100 feet back from this encounter, where they can watch from a safe distance, but they're also braced and ready to run if the battle comes their way. The people that are on the north side of this map are moving back as this battle goes in that direction. This is all you see. Just these few remaining guards and the dying knight and the people watching from a distance.
So, oh yeah, sorry, you take it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's all I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna.
All right.
The knight's
throw
noble,
stones at
right?
Anybody?
The knight is a noble woman of rank and birth.
All right, perfect. Then for my second attack, here's what I'm gonna do, Neil.
Mm-hmm.
Throw your hands up in the air right now, or I'm gonna shoot you. I just shout that at him. And I'd say just whoop like that, especially for the guy carrying the knight, should be an action that he could take in enough time for me to make the decision.
Yeah, this guy's already dropped his... Oops. This one up here has already dropped his spear. His shield is
But
sort of
he's
strapped to his
dragging.
arm, so he's been dragging this person and stopped for a moment while he was being fixed. You demand that he
Surrender.
throws hands in the air, and he drops the knight to the ground and raises his
Perfect.
arms.
So instead of shooting, I guess I'd run like up here,
Okay.
and then that's it. And then I'd say, actually no, I'd turn this way and say the same thing to that guy.
This
Throw
one
your hands
over
up in the
here?
air. Yep, throw your hands up in the air. I'm gonna shoot you.
Yep, that one drops his spear as well. Hand in the air, weapon hand in the air, shield still in front of his body, guarded
fine.
against your incoming blows.
That's fine. He dropped his weapon.
Is combat ended then?
I suppose.
I yell at Valerio to come put his sword up, and I'm gonna go and start cure light woozing everybody who's down.
Okay.
Okay. What do you do with the knight?
I leave him. She's stable.
Yeah,
We're
she's
good.
stable.
I go and cure light wounds everybody I can, and if I can't cure light wounds them, I cure moderate wounds them to try and
Sure.
keep them
How many
alive.
cure light wounds do you have?
I have 4, and then I have as many cure. I have 4 cure. I have like enough.
So 1, 2, 3. You can heal these 4. These are the survivors.
Okay.
There
This
are
guy
a
was
few
like
that are
domed,
deadsies.
right?
Yeah,
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 he was
that
like
guy's
super
fucking-
dead. Okay.
It's gone from the map.
Yeah,
So
you
you
can
can
heal
save
them.
the remaining folks.
Is there anybody left here that needs healing that those heals didn't cover?
Yeah, I mean, this knight is wounded, or this guard is wounded, this guard is wounded. Poor Chives with his 20
help
AC
Chives.
somehow got nat 20'd on the only 2 attacks against him and is badly wounded. It'll never happen
Just wanna
again.
kill him,
This was
man.
my one chance to kill Chives and it didn't work.
Chives gets 8 HP.
Okay.
8.
Oh, he's back
total?
at full.
No, you're at 8. Or sorry,
Okay.
you'll be at 8.
Okay, cool. I did the math right then.
Yeah, he's back at full.
No. I got.
Okay.
Well, yeah, kind of.
Almost.
Pretty close.
You're at full.
So once Ebner is done healing these people, I guess I'm just going to talk to Ebner and say, like, if you cover me for a moment, I will attempt to see if I can heal the wounds of these remaining people.
Let's wait on that a little bit.
All right.
Help them later. I just want to make sure nobody was
Okay.
going to die.
Sure.
All right.
I gathered their spears and shields, and what are they wearing?
The
Half
guards,
Yeah.
they have some sort of old chainmail with fairly new tabards that look like they're old fabric dyed with new dyes. And they have shields and spears.
What about the noble lady?
She has a breastplate sized for her ancestral breastplate, and a shield, and her sword, which is dropped in the dirt.
I command this guy to help me take the breast. Well,
Edmund.
actually, no. I'm gonna wait on that. I forgot which campaign I was in. Sorry.
Well, I think this is a perfect moment to pull the curtains closed on our session for today. You have come into town, defeated the people who run your town, who were trying to conscript your people, and it's time to get the fuck out of here. You've just attacked a noble and guards who are trying to like recruit for the army, and I don't think the army takes it very well when you attack their recruiters. So it is time to get the fuck out in the night or something, which we will do next time on Desperate Measures.
Awesome.
But not before you give us a little more EXP, right?
Not
Yeah, we don't wanna
before you
forget.
get a little XP. Okay. We had 8 guards, right?
Just a smidge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought that was going to go way worse than it did, and then you told me my first shot took one out, and it's like,
Yeah, I
oh,
was like, okay, here we're.
oh, this is the sort of fight we're having
Right.
today.
Mhm.
Sure.
God, I love this bow. Now imagine if I was rolling D8s.
Mm,
Yeah. Natural 20s. Those are cool.
I'm used to fighting guards in like, games, and usually that's like a really big losing proposition, borderline invulnerable. So when I saw this was going down, I was like, oh no.
yes, these are shitty low-level 1d8
Okay.
HP guards plus 0 to
Gotcha.
hit, but they've got high AC. They're used to
Right.
like cow peasants and goblins, not
Right.
badass people like you. Yeah,
Gotcha. Interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, because like
Light
if you're
on the-
whether it's
Okay.
like I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Sorry.
I was just gonna say whether it's like a game like whether it's like an MMO where there's like town guards that are coming after you that are gonna like one shot you,
Mhm.
or whether it's like even Skyrim guards are pretty spooky sometimes. So, like, oh no.
Getting the light off was integral, I think.
Mm-hmm. That
I would
plus 7 to
agree.
hit is actually pretty useful, and the D8
Yeah.
plus 3 can be devastating.
Yeah.
Let's see, so that's combat XP. Your return to latrine. Well, we'll do all the saving the people in
Yeah.
latrine as one big XP pile.
Um,
You raised some dead with a odd pact with your deity. You picked
I
up
saved
your
all these
shit.
people. I don't know if that helps actually.
We learned a
Uh,
little bit about the world.
We did. We had some learning
Yeah.
about the world.
Going up to Cronwick or whatever the fuck. No, wait, no, that's shenanigans.
Going to HighCastle. Seeing what's up
Keldaram
there.
and
Keldaram.
HighCastle and all that jazz.
Keldaram, Cronwick, same shit.
Yeah. Starts with a K. Just
Oh.
people there.
I don't know if this matters, but me casting a bunch of 3rd level spells in like town and like healing people of diseases and shit. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Doing
guys
general
can
good deeds.
each take home 675 experience.
Are you sure it's not 690?
Nope.
680?
Nope.
You get 10%, dude. Come
You get
on.
10%.
I know.
you're
I'm
fine.
so fucked then.
675.
670.
You'll get
close?
it in like next session, dude. You'll be fine. 675. High.
Yeah. 675.
742 if you have the meme.
Really,
Yep.
please, Neil. Can we have 680?
No.
I'm 7.5.
I was 1 XP away, I think, for 2 episodes. So I'm sorry.
7.5. Come on now.
17.
We're having major
Beautiful.
streaming issues right now. I don't know if anyone is actually
Hey.
seeing any of this.
Really?
Oh no.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
mine is buffering.
Well, that's good. Then you can change your mind. No one heard, Neil. It's okay. You can fold on this one. Just give me a
Nope.
little.
675.
28516 is what I'm at. 28.
I
I
felt it
refreshed it.
happening.
It's working now.
Don't worry, guys.
I'm dropping
I'll
crazy
level up
frames.
in another 17,000 XP.
Oh yeah, this is like my stream on most nights.
Yeah, I feel so bad. Connor's the one I feel the most bad for because he didn't get to overlevel and cash in on the.
Well, I did get to overlevel, and I got to cash in on the 1 XP to level.
Oh no, I
5.
do level.
Yeah,
I take it
little
back.
bit.
Oh my god, I missed it in my math. Thank you, sweet Jesus.
But like now I don't get the 10%. I think I'm the only one now who doesn't get the 10%. And I have that extra shitty Ranger Paladin leveling where it's the fighter scale, but
Well,
more.
there's no solution
Yeah.
for the bad internet, so we're just going to call it here, and I'll just let everything buffer out, and hopefully the
Sweet.
VODs will be intact. We
Okay.
are out next week, but we should be back the week after, I believe.
Oh, what's going on next week?
Sounds
I'm
good.
at a wedding.
Is
Ryan's
it-
wedding.
Ryan's. Oh wow. Very cool.
Yeah, he's getting
Yep,
married.
Sunday we're out.